Hello.
Hello?
Hello. What's up, bro?
Hey, this is the What's Up Bro podcast. We talk about movies, TV, geek stuff, news, pop culture, and it's funny, motherfucker! With Nary Signs, you know the question is not on here that I could have said yes to would have been a cock ring. I'm like, oh, I've done that. Jeff,
It was called Bibbidi Bobbidi Doorknob.
Stephanie.
The only reason he was invited was because he was dating my friend. It was like a pity invite. And he was like one of the first people to get there. What a loser.
And we have Missy
Yes, I'm here.
is also here.
Missy is also here. A girl has no last name.
Not anymore, am I right? Huh? And special correspondence with Steph Mayer Sr.
Yeah, I don't have to look cute for you.
Oh, no. And this is the What's Up Bro podcast.
That's how winning is done.
Hey, I'm Dave Chappelle, and this is What's Up, Bro.
Jean-Claude.
Oh, God. No. That wasn't me. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Welcome.
Oh, it'd be great. Welcome to the What's Up Bro podcast.
Just trying to keep us focused.
I'm Nary Signs. With me is Missy.
Hello.
And we have Stephanie.
Hello.
You got to talk into the microphone.
I did.
Because your microphone.
No, it's just, it's not my fault. I got the shitty microphone today.
Well, I mean, it kind of is because we each bought our own microphone, so it's kind of is your
Anyway, so Kanye, man, he's such an asshole, right?
Kanye is. Let me see the picture.
I really love about the whole thing is that like white Trump America is totally buying
because Christians are stupid.
No, stop it. It's just because they want to love anything that quote unquote proves they're not racist. That's why
it's both.
That's why
both.
Make
and
America
that's
Great
stupid.
Again. Yes, I know, but it's not. It's not that. No, but you're saying Christians are stupid. And
well,
it's not
because there are Christians who are.
It's about make America great again. That's
right.
That's the audience.
So then the meme that I saw of Kanye taking the microphone away from Taylor Swift, and the meme said, if you would have told me 5 years ago that one would have a Christian album and one would be advocating for late-term abortion, and a Christian posted that has nothing to do with it, or it's still stupid, right?
No, you're see that I don't like the blanket statement of all Christians are stupid. That's what you're doing, and that's wrong, in my opinion.
Okay.
I don't agree with that. I agree with all make America great again. People are stupid. That I'm okay with. that I'll stamp and fucking seal, sign, seal, and deliver. I don't agree with the whole all Christians are stupid. You're lumping all Christians in to the same stupidity as
yes,
them.
that's why I'm a closeted Christian, because I don't want to be lumped in with all the motherfuckers.
See, that's the difference, and I'm okay with calling myself a Christian. I'm okay with calling myself a believer, but I'm also not okay with saying that I believe that homosexuality is a sin. I'm not okay with any of that.
Well,
I don't hate anybody. That's not. So to lump me in.
We're starting out real deep, guys.
To lump me in with those people, I just, there was a former co-host of this podcast years ago that would do that all the time, and I'm like, it's not me, asshole. Like stop saying all Christians because it's not like that. All make America great again. Yes, we could fucking clump them all in together.
But here's what I'm saying is that, okay, what Christianity, the Christian brand, what it means to be Christian at this point, it's all negative things. Like if you just go to a random person and tell you, what do you think it means to be a Christian? They're going to say like, oh, you're against abortion. You always vote Republican, like all the shit that's marketed like as the Christian value, right?
Right. But even that's kind of misleading, because in the sense of you're saying that being called a Republican is a negative. You're
no, but I'm telling
you,
to you it is, and to me it might be. I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying that's what, if you think of a Christian in American culture, you're thinking of the paradigm, the archetype that everyone always thinks of, which is you're a Republican. I'm not a Republican. You're pro-life. I'm pro-choice.
I don't think, but I don't think that's. I think I know where you're going with it, and I think you're painting with a very broad brush of what most people And I think it's what your idea of what most people believe in.
No, it's what the fuck I'm seeing. It's the voting data. It's the shit that I'm seeing on TV. It's the fucking justification for every fucked up decision and all the hypocrisy. It's not something I'm inventing. I'm watching it.
Can I just tell you that these microphones are so powerful I could hear my dogs in the background barking, and they're not even in the same fucking room.
I know. We did a good
Good.
high five.
And I was like, as you were talking, I was like, my dog. I could like if my dogs were my children, I could hear what they're saying.
But can you hear what they're thinking?
What Men Wants is not a good movie.
I didn't see it. Is it bad?
Wait.
It's not horrible, but it's not like What
Life of the Party
what Women Want was a good movie.
Yeah, that movie back in the day was a good movie.
It's and it still stands.
essentially the
It still
same
holds.
thing, right?
And no, that's literally that's what they did.
Okay.
And so
But I love Taraji. But I'm
love
so
the
sad that
actresses
like
in the
all
movie.
her movies are fucking garbage.
Wow.
Except for Benjamin Button. That's the only movie that she's been in that was.
Hello, Hidden Figures much?
Oh, you're right. I forgot about Hidden Figures.
Did she make a pie for somebody?
No, that wasn't her. Taraji. That was Octavia Spencer.
I never saw The Help, so I just
The Help is really good.
I never saw it.
Yeah, but that was definitely Octavia
once you
Spencer.
know that there's a shit pie, you're like, you kind of ruined it for me. I don't wanna watch
That really is the best part.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to. Now you just, you're like, and then like it's like somebody going to you like, I haven't seen Endgame, bro. Captain America picks up the hammer. You're like, I don't want to see this anymore. You fucking ruined it. You just so.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. So making a shit pie for a white lady is the equivalent to Captain America picking up.
Not just any white lady.
Thor's
Bryce
hammer.
Dallas Howard.
Well, she's not her, like her character.
right.
Headline: Octavia Spencer makes shit pie.
She was very, very in character. She was very.
She's so method that it's 6 years later and she's still fucking made a shit
sending
pie.
a weekly ship out to Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh, boy.
The plates come back clean. I don't understand what happened. She fucking keeps eating them. Oh my god.
She grew it's like an acquired taste. Like how Scotch you have to have an acquired taste
so
for
gross.
Scotch.
Is this the 94? Is it 94? Anyway, so he says. So the headline was that Kanye West. His new album is a Christian album.
Mm-hmm.
He is now taking a public stand against pornography.
Oh.
And
okay.
I was like, why?
That's stupid.
Why?
I'm sorry. Speaking of pornography, do you know about a thing called No Nut November?
Yeah.
Do I?
Do you?
No, I didn't. But just the name kind of sells on what.
It's like context.
It was trending, and Pornhub, the first, like November 1st at like 1 o'clock, it was still trending like hashtag No Nut November, and Pornhub fucking tweets 20 million of you already failed. And then the next day they did like upgraded numbers, but the same shit, like whatever failed. Like apparently it's like no masturbation month.
Yeah, that's stupid.
That's so stupid.
That's not a thing.
One, that's stupid. Two, I love Pornhub's response, and three, I love the fact that you follow Pornhub on Twitter.
I don't follow them. I just saw. I just fucking saw the thing.
Why would you know?
Because
Welcome to see. Why did you say that name?
Why did you say that name? That's funny. I don't follow them on Twitter. I just saw the tweet when I was. Sure, I guess if I'm guilty, I won't even fucking try to explain myself because it doesn't matter in this fucking room.
No, we don't believe whatever you say. It's like
Nothing.
Stephanie saying that she was in a bar fight. No matter what she says, we don't fucking believe her.
We were playing What Would You Rather yesterday, and I legit told her, I would rather hear you talk about your fucking semester in Spain than whatever the fuck we were talking about. And then she goes, you mean my semester in Barcelona?
I don't know why I said it like that though, because I had just finished watching Booksmart, and the kid is always talking about when I lived in Barcelona.
Did you like Booksmart?
I did like it.
Cool.
What's that movie? Booksmart?
It's in my account.
Oh, is that the one that you bought without seeing?
No, that's The Kitchen.
No, that's anything with Melissa McCarthy.
No,
Yeah.
I've seen. First of all, the only movie I haven't seen of Melissa McCarthy is The Kitchen, and it's been in my account for like 2 weeks.
And you haven't seen it still?
No,
Oof,
I've
you're
been
not a
busy.
fan.
I mean, what are you doing with her voodoo doll?
You're not a fan.
Huh? Oh,
She has
voodoo
to
doll.
feel it like right there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you people are talking about.
You're a huge fan of hers. And
I don't have a voodoo doll of Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, please. Like, you haven't gone on eBay and searched for Melissa McCarthy's
Why
hair.
the fuck would anyone do that? That's so stupid.
But have you heard back about the hair for Stallone? Have you heard back?
About what?
About the hair for Stallone? I Googled Stallone's hair, and I'm trying to get that on eBay to make my own little hair doll.
Well, it's sad because you can't do that for The Rock because he's fucking bald as
That's why I didn't say The Rock. That's why I didn't say The Rock. Because he shaves everything.
He was okay.
And how do you know that?
Because Pornhub, obviously.
Oh, right, because The Rock is on Pornhub.
No, but he was in New York this weekend, and he
that's the same as Pornhub.
Well, some might agree with you.
The people that are really giant.
Miami had like a really good sports weekend.
It did.
Like, we hit it out of the park. Yeah, well, it won't happen again.
Yeah, this is gonna be a week from now, but as far as when this comes out, but you're right.
As of November 4th, 9:00, we had a great weekend. All of our teams won, and Masvidal. That is.
He's a UFC fighter.
No, I was asking her.
The Heat won. They beat the Rockets.
I know UM won.
UM won. The Dolphins won. FIU won. The Florida Panthers won. And Masvidal, from the UFC fighter from Miami, won his championship match. So all happened in the course of 2 days or 3 days or whatever it was.
And
that's never going to happen.
The Dolphins beat the Jets.
The Jets, that I knew.
So the Jets lost to a team that hasn't won once.
Right.
And
they've only
there are
once.
rivals, right?
They've only won once. Well, I mean,
like,
hard quotes. Because here's the thing. In sports talk, yes, the Dolphins and Jets are rivals. They're in the same conference, and their fans hate each other. Their fan base hate each other. But here's the thing. Here's what I believe. You're not a rival
if you both suck.
If you both suck, and you both suck for such a long fucking time. It's not a rivalry anymore. A rivalry is like a competitive thing. Like, oh, he won one.
Like the Yankees and the Red Sox is a legit rivalry.
Or the Patriots, they got knocked out this weekend.
No, but that's not even a rivalry because nobody really beats the Patriots that often. All I'm saying
they were undefeated until this weekend.
They were undefeated. Yeah, I know. Some people don't have, some people don't cheer for an undefeated team. Other people like me. So my point is that I think the Dolphins and Jets, even though as much as everybody down here loves to say, oh, fuck the Jets, I'm like, but you both suck. Both of you suck. What are we arguing about?
Welcome to Ubro, Miami's number one podcast.
I don't understand. But that's the truth, though.
No, I agree with you.
And I just don't understand how that's a rivalry anymore. Like, that was a rivalry in the 80s.
Maybe it's like a way 90s. To, like, stay relevant.
That's it.
Like, and that's all you have?
It's an NFL team. It's always going to be relevant.
Yeah, it boggles my mind how people are like, fuck the Jets. And I'm like, but you guys suck, too. Everybody sucks, man. I don't understand. So, anyways, rivalry, schmivalry.
Do you like MMA?
I do, but I don't follow it. Here's my problem with MMA is just like in any other sports, I'm not a stats guy. So, like, I love football. I love basketball, right? Professional football, professional basketball. But I'm not that guy that goes, oh, bro, remember in 85 when that defense was rated top 2, blah, blah, and so-and-so, the linebacker, and so-and-so had this many interceptions. I'm not that guy.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm a huge fan. I watch every game, and I enjoy it, and I have fun, and I root for certain teams, and that's great. But I'm not a stats guy. UFC is basically every person is their own team. So now I got to memorize every fighter that comes in, and there's a new one every other fucking week.
Well,
so when you have a fight, yeah.
I mean, I guess you can just, like, I don't do it that way. I kind of just go with whoever catches my attention, and like obviously this fight, Saturday's fight, was a big deal because it, obviously.
Well, it was a big deal because of the fighters involved in the guy. Right. I'm into this guy, and Nate Diaz is a beast.
But what I was saying, what I was trying to get to is, have you seen the before and after pictures of Nate Diaz, like why they had to stop the fight?
Yeah, those stitches that he got above and below.
No, but like before that, when his fucking eyebrow was hanging over his...
I didn't see it.
It's so good. Do you want to see it?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, I got accused of, like, why do you like violence? It's like, I just think there's something really pure about putting two people in a cage and telling them to beat the shit out of each other. Is that weird?
You almost quoted Rocky. I'm not even exaggerating.
It's really pure.
You're not even, he said...
Look at his eye. It's disgusting. It looks like he was in a car accident. It's fantastic.
It is.
He got him right in the fucking eyebrow. So
In
good.
the face. In the face.
And then the thing is that
Man,
he's
you pulled up that picture rather quickly, man. See, is that your wallpaper? What the fuck did
no,
you do?
it
Like,
was
how
saved
quickly?
because I was talking to Fanny about it. But this guy bleeds so fucking much. So
Well, that usually happens when they cut your fucking face.
no. Yes. But he's a bleeder. Like, he's known to be a bleeder in the UFC. So he looked like it was just fucking bad. And I saved my money because I knew it was gonna be a lot of hype. But they're already talking about a rematch because Masvidal won. Because after he cut him right there, the doctor stopped the fight because he said it was so. It's not like
a fight.
Yeah, it's not like a satisfying win. It wasn't like a satisfying win to him, I guess, or to either one of them, and they both want to. Now there's like a rumor that Conor McGregor wants him, and Masvidal came on in the conference. He's like, "I'll fucking kill him."
He's been talking about that for a long time. They've been asking him for like months now. He was on ESPN's First Take. And
McGregor?
No.
Masvidal?
They asked him about McGregor, and he was like, "Look, man, I'm not here to actually, kill."
I saw the clip. Yeah.
He's like, I'm a sports guy. Why do you guys want me to kill somebody? Like, I don't understand. Like, that was like the way he said it. It was so great. And I don't know if you saw the full interview, but he gave his full answer, right? And he's like, blah blah over. And then Greeny, the guy from ESPN, he paused and he was like, am I the only one that's afraid right now? Am I the only one? He's like literally like shitting himself.
No, and then I think he turned it on the reporters and was like, "You guys are some mean motherfuckers for wanting me to fight." I was like,
but that was it. That was a separate. That was after the press conference. He goes, "You know what? You guys are fucked up, man. You guys are mean for wanting to hurt this guy. I'm gonna fuck that little guy up." He called him a little guy. I'm like, God damn.
That's he punches old people because it's a fight. He knows he's gonna win. I was like, "Oh no." Those are fighting words, literally.
But you almost quoted Rocky, BFF. I'm very proud of you.
Well,
because Rocky Balboa, when his son says, "Are you crazy?" This is crazy as far as
his son, Milo Ventimiglia.
His son.
The only thing I know about Rocky.
Says, "This is crazy," and then Rocky says, "What's crazy about a man standing in front of another man saying I am?" And I thought that was pretty fucking close to what you were saying.
Oh yeah. Well. Yeah, I feel same.
You're as good a writer as Stallone. Congrats.
Awesome. That's a compliment.
Fuck yeah, it's a compliment. Fuck yeah, it's a compliment. The fuck? He wrote Rocky, madam. I don't know if you're fucking aware of this.
All of them.
Not all of them, but yeah. No, he didn't write Creed. He didn't write the Creed one. Creed Part 1, he didn't write.
So, I have a question for you.
Yes.
You told me something earlier that I wanted to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
You started watching The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
I did. Have you seen this, Stephanie?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of don't want to.
And she doesn't want to. And let me tell you why she doesn't want to.
I'm not a fan of Amy Sherman Palladino. That is literally
because
Who's that?
the writer and creator of the show is the same person who wrote and wrote 6 of the 7 seasons of Gilmore Girls.
But I've also seen other shows that she's done.
Such as?
Bunheads, which I fucking hated when I thought I would love it because it's about like dancers and like the arts, and I thought I would love it.
But it's also on ABC Family.
It was on ABC Family.
So what the fuck are you watching that show for, Stephanie?
Because I watched a lot of ABC Family back in the day.
But that's not a good thing, though. You're bragging about this.
Listen, I sat through 8 seasons of
you
Pretty
know, you
Little
think
Liars.
you're pulling up in the plane, you're actually going down, babe.
I don't care.
But I don't understand.
I kind of want to play My Heart Will Go On right now.
I've seen a lot of ABC Family.
Yes, but my question is
Why
like,
are you saying that out loud?
yeah, but not only that, but my question is like, you're holding it against the lady the writer.
I just don't like her. Like I've said many times, I've tried several times over years to give Gilmore Girls a shot, and
but
I
it's
just
not
can't
about
get
Gilmore
into
Girls.
it.
I'm not.
Can I finish?
Can I finish?
Can I finish? Okay, I'm finished. I've given a few of different projects of hers a shot, and I've never really
But you haven't given this one a shot.
Here's my question to you. Why does it matter who wrote this particular show if you just watch the show? Like, I don't know who the fuck this writer is. I watched the show because I was interested in the concept that they. Now, if you tell me that a concept doesn't do anything for you, good, all right, cool, I get it. But you're telling me you're specifically not wanting to watch a show because you know that a person wrote another show you didn't like, or multiple shows. It's
kind of like the same reason that you won't not you specifically, but that somebody won't go see like a certain movie because this person directed it and they don't like these types of movies, or they don't.
I say the same thing to everybody. Like David's the same way. David's the same way. David's like, I don't watch this because what's his name? Venom. What's his name?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's in. He's not a good actor. I don't like him, so I don't want to watch him. Man.
What did he watch that he didn't like of Tom Hardy?
Everything.
He doesn't like Tom Hardy.
He doesn't like
He's
Tom Hardy.
he's watched his entire catalog.
He's watched a lot of it. He watched Warrior, and he goes, Tom Hardy's a weak link in that movie. And I'm like,
He also doesn't like Benicio del Toro, so he won't really watch.
I'm not a fan of Benicio del Toro either, to be honest with you. I'm not a fan. But again, I'm not one of those guys that goes, I don't like one actor. Oh, I'm not a fan of an actor. Let me boycott his movies entirely.
I'm not boycotting. It's just that like I don't want to like have, and I might like it for all I know. It's just like of all the things that I
might like it for all I know if I gave it a chance.
Okay,
But I won't because I have principles.
but can I finish?
Yes.
Sure. Okay, but just knowing that I've given several of her different projects a shot and I haven't really liked any of them. On the list of things that I want to watch, it's very low on the on the list. Because historically speaking, I just don't.
This is why.
Care for
This
her
is why
stuff.
I'm glad I don't know who writes anything. Like I'm being honest. I don't know. Like unless there's like unless there's a what's his name?
Like Tarantino.
Tarantino or Pio. His new thing now is like
Horror films.
It's horror films, and it's like it's written by and they make a big deal of it. But for the most part, TV shows, they don't do that. They don't go written by fulana de tal.
Which they didn't do. They don't do this. I started watching the show and I found out halfway through the first season that Amy was behind. I say Amy like we're friends. But
You're on a first name basis, are you, with Amy?
Her and Melissa.
No?
Mel. Yeah.
her name is Missy. I didn't know that, and it was just a happy coincidence. So I didn't go into it. This wasn't a thing that I started watching it because it's the same person who did Gilmore Girls and Bunheads, which I am a fan of Gilmore Girls. It doesn't hold up, but at the time, like for the nostalgia of it, I still
that guy died.
What guy?
The guy that was in Gilmore Girls.
Oh, a viejo?
Yeah, no, not Que Viejo. Yes, Richie Rich's dad, also known as Richard Gilmore. That actor died, but there's another one that died recently.
Like right now, like 2 days ago.
Oh, I don't know.
He was like a not even like a co-star. Like he was in and out in the show, but he was great.
Title of your sex tape.
So
he was in and out and then died. That's a weird.
oh, that's
sex
a
tape.
terrible. So I take it back. No, uncrossed my fingers.
No,
So, anyways, you started watching the show.
So I started watching the show.
We digress.
Like, anyways, digressing to, I'm glad I don't know who anybody writes.
Yeah,
like, I don't know. I really don't know. Especially TV shows. When it comes to TV shows, I don't even. Like,
So
I would have no ideas.
Like the trivia that the office ladies are throwing at you, that you're finding out for the first time that BJ Novak wrote shit stuff.
Oh
like
no,
that?
I knew BJ Novak wrote that, but I'm a super fan of that show already.
So it's
not
like a side note, yeah.
So it's
But
already
like
a side
generally
note.
speaking, you don't.
Yeah,
really pay
I
attention
wouldn't
to
like
that.
if I'm watching a show, I usually don't know who's a writer of that show at that time. In fact, I didn't know that BJ was a writer of the show during when I first watched it was airing.
Yeah.
It wasn't until afterwards that I caught all these trivias because again, I'm a super fan of that specific show.
Yeah, you don't let yourself get biased.
I don't. We do the same thing with music. Missy does this with
I
music.
do.
We're listening to a song and I go, "Isn't this song cool?" And she goes, "Who sings it? Who is it by?" I'm like, "What? Well, who gives a fuck? Do you like the song or not?" She's like, "I gotta know who sings
I want
it
to know who
first."
sings it.
And she won't commit to even.
An opinion.
She won't commit to an opinion until she knows the artist or the title of the song.
I think that's like most people do that.
I don't think that's the case. I think if you listen to something and you go, "I like this. Who is it?" That's one thing. But, I wonder if I like it. Let me know. Who is it? I'll tell you if I like it once I know who it is. Like, that's crazy talk to me.
No,
but most people
Yes.
are not like you. It's like,
You know what? We should put a poll up on Instagram.
put a poll up because I guarantee. I mean,
On
I don't want
Twitter.
to guarantee you, but like I feel like a lot of people kind of are on like
that they're not willing to give an opinion of.
that they're not willing to give something a shot if they
No,
have
not
like
a shot.
story
Not a
history.
shot because music is different. I'm talking about she's listening to the song at the moment.
And he'll go,
And I go,
"Isn't this a great song?" And always and forever.
Can you give me like a specific example?
They're all shitty, so I can't.
No,
I
that's
couldn't.
not true.
Of what
That's
song?
not true. That's not true.
Which one?
We were in the car. We were preparing for this is true story. We were preparing. This is like January. We were preparing for the episode of Geekmore where we did best song of 2018.
Where her number one was Taki
Where her
Taki.
number one was
Yeah.
Taki Taki, and number 4 was Shadow. So of course, put
I know. I
priorities.
pulled a David Ulloa and I
So-
fucking did my mountain in reverse just to be cool.
All right, so
I've already declared that.
My point is that I will let her listen to a song. She's listening to a song, and I go, "What do you think? Do you like this one?" And she'll look at me and then look at the radio and then change my dial to be able to fucking see the options of the name of the song. And I go, just tell me if you like it or not. I'm not saying it's the best song in the world. I'm not saying it's the worst song. Do you like it? And she goes, her words, I'll tell you when I know who's it by.
Yeah.
That makes no fucking sense to me.
But
you're already listening to the song. You're already, it's not again.
I should note, however,
it's not like I'm going, hey, let's go to a concert. Then you would be like, who the fuck's concert is it?
Because
I'm
money
yeah,
involved.
exactly.
I should note though that I do know how much it drives him fucking ape shit, so I'm a little bit motivated by that too. But mostly I want to know.
This was the first time she ever did this, so this is like this was. Not,
yeah,
she didn't even know that.
Now I do, and now I'm like, there's like a 10%.
I give up asking.
But 90% of the time, I really do.
This is the same woman who professed her love for Imagine Dragons.
Yes.
Would not stop talking about Imagine fucking
and
Dragons.
Think that it's white boy rock.
And then
it's not even rock.
And then when I tell her to listen to a song by Panic by the Disco, or Panic at the Disco, she goes,
"Oh no, that's white boy rock.
I don't listen to white boy rock."
Correct.
A day removed from her fucking Imagine Dragon, and I was
he called me on it, and then I was like,
but Imagine Dragon.
Correct. And then I was like, oh shit, you're right. I gave you that one though.
Yes.
However, I'm sorry, and it's not because I don't like Panic. Like I wasn't into Panic at the Disco.
From like back in the
but
day.
that song that they fucking played over and over again last
in
year.
like 2006.
No, I mean last year, the one of High Hopes or whatever.
But that song is great.
But it was on, like I just heard it too many times to really give a shit
before you
about
even heard it once, you didn't even want to hear it.
No, I had no choice but to hear it all the time because it was on multiple radio stations at the same time. I don't hate it just to be a bitch. I don't. I promise. It's literally fucking everywhere.
Again, my point of bringing all this up is to say, like, I find it weird that you need to know who's behind an art before you
decide if you like it or not.
You know, to me, I mean, I remember watching even movies that I was like, man, this is a good movie. And then when I found out the director, I'm like, I didn't know this guy directed it. Guy Ritchie, that's the example I'm giving now.
Because he's super specific. Like his style is very...
Well, his style is very specific, but I remember watching the King Arthur movie, and I was like, man, this reminds me of fucking Guy Ritchie. And then it was Guy Ritchie. But I was already digging it already.
Right.
But, you know, again... British people talking fast. That's what happens. So what were we talking about before?
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
So
you finished the first episode. What do you think?
So for those of the listeners who don't know, it's a Amazon original series. If you have Amazon Prime, remind me to come back to Amazon Prime in a minute.
Because I want to talk about another Amazon original when you're done with
Amazon original, and it's about what year is it?
It's in the 50s, and it's set in the 50s, Upper East Side, New York.
Right. And a very well off to do couple, and their first episode is her giving a speech at her wedding, and blah 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 and that stuff there, and it kind of shows fast forward through 4 years of their picture perfect marriage, or so you think. And then her husband is trying stand up. Okay.
Isn't her husband Zachary Levi?
No. That's second season. That's her love interest.
God damn it, man. Why are you fucking spoiling shit for me, man? I don't want to watch this show anymore.
Good.
Fuck this show.
Don't waste your time.
Stupid bunhead. So the whole thing, he's doing stand up at night, whatever, and she's like with him and supportive. She is like the very, very perfect wife. Like it's like the amount that she tries for him is crazy. Crazy. Like she goes to
and how does he fuck it up?
Well, he's a man, so that's
so he puts his dick somewhere else.
So he's a man.
Got it.
And sometimes people grow apart, Stephanie. All right.
Okay.
Jeez.
Okay, and that's justification for putting your dick somewhere else.
Maybe. Okay. You don't know his life. You know how hard it is to be a man in the 50s, where you have total control of everything.
To be a white guy in the 50s.
To be a white man in the white rich man in the 50s. You have no idea.
I'm sure it was a really tough life.
White rich Jewish man in Upper East Side New York in the 50s.
I'm sure he really suffered a lot.
Yeah, it's not. You know how difficult it is to have a doorman. You can't even open your own fucking door, Stephanie.
Speaking of doormen
Wait.
in New York, an Amazon Prime
That was
original.
so good. That was really good.
So-
But you haven't told me if you like it yet.
So here's the problem. I didn't like this guy from the fucking jump.
The husband?
The husband from the
Who
fucking
plays
jump.
the husband?
That guy, you know?
El fulano de tal, bro.
Okay, so it's nobody that I know.
El hermano del...
I'm terrible with names. I couldn't even tell you the actress's name of that plays Mrs.
Rachel
Maisel.
Brosnahan.
I
I don't watch
couldn't-
that show and I know her name.
I couldn't tell you the writer of that show.
Well, you could now because
No, I still fucking can't. I know it's Amy because you and her are BFFs. But I don't
Me and
fucking
Ames
know.
go way back, okay?
I legit don't know who
2001
the
or
fuck that
whatever the
is.
fuck Gilmore Girls started.
Yeah, it did start in 2000. You know a lot about a show you don't fucking want to watch. Pendeja.
Because I tried watching it in 2001 to see if it was any good.
Stephanie, 2001 was almost 20 fucking years ago,
I understand.
bro. I feel like you've grown a lot. Like, give it another shot.
You know what we
You
should
just
watch?
said
You know
it
what we should
doesn't hold
all
up.
watch together
Oh no.
is Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
I would love to.
That should be the next season.
Although, however,
That should be
my
the next
sister-in-law
seasons.
did a rewatch of it like last year, and she said that what sucks about the run on Hulu is that a lot of the music they weren't able to get the licenses for it.
We talked about this once.
So like the theme song they couldn't get.
It's a different.
It's a totally different
it's a
song.
I talked about it
song.
once, but I'll explain.
But the DVDs will have it.
No.
Just super disappointed.
No, they don't have the
No.
DVDs.
Oh, that's
don't have
right,
it, 'cause so Dawson's Creek started in '98. They didn't license the music, anticipating that DVD and streaming was going to be the new medium.
Right.
So the licensing ran out. They didn't renew it, so they just threw in generic bullshit. But if you were a Dawson's Creek fan, you remember scenes like that had what
like,
song
is
what
Edwin
with what?
McCain not in it?
No,
Oh my god! But that
Which one?
scene is
the
like
theme song is completely different
No,
if you
that's not what I
stream it.
said.
What?
I said is the Edwin McCain song.
No.
That
Which
scene
is the
with
Edwin
that
McCain
song, "I'll Be," is that song was like at a very.
I don't know what song that is. Let's look it up.
Here.
You do know
I'll
that song.
keep talking about it, and
It's on
I'll.
here.
Oh,
I'm already connected.
But for them to not have licensed at least the theme song is like really
no,
I'll be.
stupid. Yes.
and I was really stupid.
I'll be there for you. I'll be missing you. I'll be.
No, just
No.
"I'll Be" Edwin McCain.
Uh,
That song was like a really pivotal moment in that show.
Not really.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
I do remember.
love
I don't
this
remember this
song.
episode. I
I
don't
love
remember what
this song.
show. I don't remember, but I remember this song being. Yeah.
This was a hot song in '98.
Mm-hmm. 98. More like 2018. Giving us it. No.
No,
Yeah, it's
I
a
mean,
good song.
like not joking. Like joking aside, they still play it like on 101.5 and shit.
No, joking aside, I have this in my workout playlist. I'm not fucking
I have
around.
this on a couple playlists.
Yeah.
I love this song. Okay,
I can tell you exactly what's happening
I know.
when this song is playing.
What's happening?
It's the
Narrate.
season finale of the first season,
Mm-hmm.
and Joey just caught Dawson kissing. Jen tried to kiss Dawson, and Joey walked in on it, ran out, and now this song is playing as Dawson is running through the town trying to find Joey to explain to her that he wants to be with her, and Joey keeps running away. Like legitimately, this was happening.
Didn't she hook up with Pacey then?
Yeah, well, she made better choices as the show went on, but I'm saying the
No,
first season.
I'm saying the first season. I'm saying didn't they hook up with the last?
No,
episode
he
of the
tried.
first
He hit on her, and
It's
she shot him down.
It's been 22 years.
Yeah.
since I've seen
What
this
else do you want to
fucking-
know?
We should do a
It's been
season.
22 minutes since Missy's on.
We should do a seasons on Dawson's
We
Creek.
should.
Isn't it long?
I don't know. Is it?
It's an hour long.
No. I mean,
episodes.
like, it's a lot of episodes and a lot of seasons.
I think
It's
like
6 seasons, and it's a full. The first
So they're like
season is half a
24
season, so it's like 12, 13 episodes, but the rest were fully
Yeah.
22 episodes.
I'm committed if you guys are.
I really thought you were gonna say Friday Night Lights, but sure, I'll do Dawson's Creek.
Friday Night Lights is, but that's between me and you. That's not on for the seasons podcast.
Okay, that's a friendship pact.
Exactly.
All right, so hit me. So what did you like? So
I
you didn't
hated
like
this
the husband.
motherfucker from the jump.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
here's the
Missy
reason
showed me
why.
the picture of that guy, and that guy looks like he has like stupid dude face, and he sucks.
He's a good looking dude, I thought.
Yeah, but he looks like tiene cara.
The most Miami thing.
For those non-Spanish
He has a
speakers,
face.
for those
That's
non-Spanish
literally
speakers,
what.
Stephanie gave the Latin version of you could just tell in his face.
Correct. But
So
literally translated.
Whenever a woman hates another woman, like, look at this whore right here. Like, how do you know she's a
Tiene
whore?
Tiene
Look
cara.
at her face.
Right.
Look
But
at her face. I can tell she's a whore.
But
Like,
literally translated, tiene cara means he has a face.
he has a face. Yeah.
Correct.
So this is a man that's not walking around with a question mark in his face. He like actually has features.
Correct.
So that's the
As
problem.
opposed to other people.
problem.
So you hated him from the get-go.
I hated him from the get-go because of two things. One,
Tiene cara.
he interrupted her during the wedding speech, during her wedding speech. Like, she was the one talking. And she starts off the speech by saying, who does this? Like, who gives their own speech at their own wedding? Nobody. I'm ridiculous. I know. Like, she understands, right? And she makes it very funny and very amusing, whatever. And then he interrupts her, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. This is her moment. You shut the fuck up and you sit down and you fucking smile and wave.
But he was a white man in the 50s.
But he's a
so
white
he
man
had
in the
every
50s.
right.
So
A white man today would do the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah,
talking
well-
about?
But I would be in the back fucking yelling this shit. When I'm in the back, I'm in the back of the kitchen when I'm washing dishes. But my point is, I would have said it, man. So, but besides the point, but that's not the reason why I didn't like him. The reason why I didn't like him is because he's a comedian, or he's trying to be a comedian. He's basically an open micer, and he's trying to get spots. And his wife does all the legwork for him, like as far as getting him a better time slot and blah 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 and all that stuff there. And he goes on stage, and then within 20 minutes of the episode, she sees, I forgot what famous comedian at the time, but she sees a comedian, and the famous comedian on TV,
Is it like Jack Parr or one of those guys?
I don't know, it's one of those guys, is rattling off his set that we the audience saw him do 5 minutes earlier in the episode. And she's like livid, and she's like, can you believe this motherfucker? I'm sure he went into he might have gone into the club and blah blah whatever, and then he was like not phased at all, the guy. And then when she was like, why are you not bothered? Why doesn't this bother you? And he goes, no, it's his bit. Like, I have all his albums, and I just learned his bit, and I did it on stage. And she's like, but you stole his bit? And he's like, no, I borrowed. Every comedian does it. And the fucking, I could not
trigger.
separate that from
I can see
fucking-
the steam coming out of your ears right now.
I couldn't separate this is a TV show, and this is, and here's the thing, because people really believe that shit.
Right.
Because people who are not comedians, who are not in the industry, really fucking believe that. Oh, who cares that Messiah steals jokes? Everybody does it. No, like, it just livid as fuck. Again, and I'm using Messiah as in the...
Because he's the one that everybody knows.
This is what my friends would tell me about him when there was a whole rumor about Messiah being a joke thief. I'm not adding my 2 cents. I don't give a fuck. I hate the past that audience members like, oh, everybody does it. Like, no, what? Are you out of your fucking mind, dude? So that I got very triggered by that, because he was like, whatever, and then he convinced her that that's the way it's done. Everybody does it. Everybody borrows. It's fine until you get your own footing. And I'm like, no.
So you were triggered AF.
So I was triggered as fuck, and then but the rest of the episode was good. It was, whatever. It's chill.
Did you like the first episode?
It's a good premise. It's a little bit, you have to stretch your imagination to believe a woman is funny, but I mean, let's do what we got to do, it's entertainment. It's not fucking, I love the fact that both of you are fucking piercing at me. Clearly,
piercing at you. I'm
to the
attentively
listener, that is a
listening
joke,
to
obviously.
the man at the table, quietly, like I should be.
You're gonna go places. I believe in you.
To the kitchen and make you a sandwich.
Oh my god! And don't put the fucking crust on it anymore. But no, yeah, it was a good show. Like, I knew I was gonna like the show. Stephanie Meyer Sr. has been telling me about the show since its inception, since it first debuted, and I knew I was gonna like it. I just hadn't gotten around to it.
So I'm glad that you started watching it, because the new season's coming out in a couple of weeks, and you can binge it because they don't do week by week, so we can talk about it. I don't have a lot of people that watch the show, so
Yeah.
Well,
It's it's kind of enraging when you hear this is not a shocker. This is all in episode 1. So to the listener, if you haven't seen the show, it's been around for 3 years, and B, it's in the very first episode. It's not a shocker. I'm not spoiling really much. He leaves her. He decides to leave her after he bombs, and he blames her for bombing. And then he leaves. He's leaving her, and she does like the very stereotypical 1950s, what I would imagine, what we all imagine 1950s women did. I'll change, I'll get better, and all the stuff there. And like, she did absolutely zero wrong. And then when she went to go tell her parents that he left, her parents got mad at her.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very, very difficult. As a fucking man, it was very difficult to watch. That's when I called you. I was like, oh man, how the fuck can you be watching the show? Like, it just, I literally called you with that. Like, you didn't pick up, and that's why when you did call me back, I completely forgot my anger because I was in a different part of the episode. But I was legitimately calling you to be like, how the fuck can you watch this? Like, it's so fucking enraging to hear. Like,
You should watch The Handmaid's Tale.
no, 'cause that's like porn for me. That's like, this is the good future, like that shit like that. But I'm talking about like, you don't. How are you blaming a woman? Like, he's literally.
He's joking.
I am joking.
I'm just sitting
Do you know
here.
that the first time that I watched the first 4 episodes of Handmaid's Tale, he calls me and I'm like, I'm not gonna spoil it, but this fucking show has my blood pressure crazy and da-da-da-da-da, and now the girl is punished all because she couldn't get pregnant. She's banished to her room.
Wait. So she explains to me the situation,
Right.
the premise of the show. In the first 4 episodes, she explains to me what the handmaids are. She explains to me what the Marthas are. She
Right.
explains to me this, blah 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 blah. So she's doing this.
Martha's.
So she explains to me. So she explains to me all these.
Yeah, it's like-
she explains to me the
Yeah.
hierarchy, whatever,
Yeah.
the situation, the money, they all lost their money and all this bullshit. She's telling me this, and then so she's telling me what happens and
Like
what the
4 or 5 episodes in.
what the responsibilities are and what they're there for to procreate, and all this stuff there. And then she goes, and then she lost. Was it she lost a baby or she thought she was?
No, she thought she was pregnant. They
She wasn't.
celebrated like they thought that she was, and it ends up that she's not. So this bitch Serena fucking banishes her to the room.
She goes. So she gets banished to her room, and I go, whoa. They get their own room. And that triggered
And I was
Missy
like-
because I didn't say anything. There was no joking from me for like she was explaining all of this, and I'm like, and then what happens then? And I'm like interested in the fucking thing. So the very first joke I lay on, I'm like, whoa, hold on. She gets her own room? Get the fuck out!
And I was like,
and then she's complaining about this, and Missy was so fucking livid.
I was like, I called the wrong person. I called the wrong person to talk to about this. But obviously I think I'm like 75% sure he's joking, and
I'm totally joking. Like, I'm telling you, but I was by myself watching The Marvelous Miss, and that really that scene where the dad's like, this is your fault, you got to get him back. And then the dad
Does she come from money or?
yeah,
she
they
was
both come from money.
Here's the thing, the dad wasn't looking at it from the fact of it's your fault that he left. The dad was looking at it from the point of view of it's your fault for picking a weak man. That was where the dad, and again, we're splitting hairs here because it's still wrong to blame her for it, but he wasn't blaming her for him leaving. He was blaming her for picking him.
For
Again, still wrong.
From
But fucking infuriating.
Yeah, from also the way I perceived that whole scene was, in the 1950s, your livelihood, your security was your husband.
Yeah.
So if he lost his job or he fucking left you, you could
fucked.
potentially be out in the street
Right.
if you don't have the right means to figure it out. So I think that's what I gathered from the dad. But I'm excited that you're watching it because it's a good show. I like it a lot.
BFF, you're super sappy. This
I
is a
am.
fact.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Missy and I last week or
I'm
the
proud
week
of that, to be
before,
honest
I
with you.
can't remember, binged a show on Amazon, which I've
The
recently
show?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've recently discovered
I've only seen one show on Amazon.
Amazon Prime.
No, I've only seen one show. That's why I made
well,
sure
it's
it
a
was
new show. It just
Okay.
debuted like a couple weeks ago. We saw Modern Love, and it's right up your alley. It's super sappy. It's 8 different like love stories. It comes from this New York Times column called Modern Love, and it's just like different love stories in New York City.
Okay.
And they picked like these 8.
So
I thought it was a limited thing. Apparently, it's been going on for like 15 years.
Yeah. That column is very popular,
No,
but
I didn't know that.
but I need you to watch it because
well, we've disagreed a lot on certain people.
we're having polar opposite reactions to very
we had the
important
same
characters.
reaction to
With the
this one
exception of
episode.
one fucking episode, but
But I really think that you would like it. And I need you to. It's only 8 episodes and they're only 30 minutes. So I think you could do it.
I could do it.
I literally did it.
I mean,
in a
I don't
day.
have a problem with any kind of runtime or how many, like,
Right.
you know.
Well, I think you should do it now when you leave again, and so that we can regroup.
Because here's the thing, I don't know. Because Stephanie, you're not known as a sappy person.
I'm not.
And you recently talked ill of one of the movies that I recommended.
I didn't speak ill of it.
You spoke ill. You spoke ill.
Jeff said it though.
No, Jeff said it, and but here's the thing.
But
when
Jeff and I had the same.
exact. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Jeff said it,
We
and she
felt the
agreed.
same way.
And I don't care that Jeff said it because I would never recommended it to Jeff. B, never thought that he would watch it, and C,
He watched it because I asked him to.
yeah, you see, like that type of shit. Like I didn't ask Jeff to watch it. I brought it up to the entire group in the chat, but I never thought I never asked him specifically, and I never thought he would do it. And I know it's just not his type of movie. Like sappy movies are not his type of movies. Stephanie, for as much as she is not a sappy person, she does enjoy a sappy movie.
I do enjoy a sappy movie. Yeah.
So with that said, her opinion, even if it's Jeff the one that said it, she agreed with it. I'm like, I don't know if I could
But
be
I
friends
saw,
with you anymore at this point. Like,
I saw it first, and I had those opinions before Jeff.
Oh,
had those opinions.
that's what makes it worse for me. Like
Oh.
I'm not.
You thought you were trying to fix it, you fucked it
I
up
just
more.
wanted to be sure.
No.
clear that
I
the way
never.
that you made it seem is like I'm only having these opinions because Jeff.
No,
also
no,
had
I'm
these
not.
opinions.
I was saying the exact opposite. It's the
Oh,
fact
okay.
that you agree with him. Period. And I don't
Okay.
care who came with it first. The fact that you agree with him is a letdown to me because
I'm
I was
sorry.
like, oh, that's just that's like to me like I think his review as maybe as accurate as it is dumb.
You haven't seen it yet.
I haven't.
Because
You
he
need to
said
watch it.
he says that he doesn't watch the same reason. His quote was, "It's the same reason I don't watch This Is Us. These are the writers of This Is Us."
It is, yeah.
I didn't know that until after I saw the movie again because I don't fucking know who the writers are of anything. He said the same reason I don't watch This Is Us because it's cry porn. It's
Right.
to get
It's like they do-
writing to invoke an emotion out of you. I'm like, that's what all writing should be.
No, but it's
That's what all
I
writing.
know
And
what
he's accurate.
I know what he means because like there are certain things that happen in this movie. It's like Missy and I have had this conversation.
No,
before.
he said it's worst case scenario for everything.
Yeah.
Just to get
a rise.
a reaction out of you. I'm like, but that's what you're supposed to do.
Well, no,
You're supposed
I disagree
to-
with you there. But it's like when Missy and I have had this conversation where like anytime you hear the song "Fix You" in a movie or a TV show, it's or some medium where
You're supposed
that
to
song-
cry.
that song is specifically put in there
Fix you.
Coldplay.
because they want you to
I think
cry.
that's didn't they do that in 30 Rock? They talked about that song
Yes,
in 30 Rock,
they
right?
do talk about it on
where
30 Rock.
the song came on and it was like, that's not even what happened, but they edited it and they put the song in the background.
Yes.
Like, that's not even what happened, but now I want to cry.
Yes,
Um,
I feel like this whole movie was like just putting "Fix You." Like it should have just been underscored the entire movie because
But I'm okay
Well, in
with
that case, it's a
too.
beautiful fucking movie
It's a
because it's a beautiful fucking song.
it's a beautiful song. But like,
It's a beautiful movie. Like again, your opinions are not wrong. I don't think that his review, like I said earlier, I don't think his review is inaccurate. I think his review is stupid.
here,
Like I don't like. I'm saying this in the best possible way. I love Jeff, and I'm not. Again, his review is accurate. Like
for
there's
the listener,
no falsehoods.
for the listener, because we haven't mentioned that we're talking about this movie, Life Itself.
Oh
Like,
shit, we haven't even mentioned the fucking movie. Oh my god. So we're talking about.
I thought about that, but I was in the moment.
We're talking about this movie called Life Itself. It's an Amazon original movie
Right.
that I just fucking completely landed on. So much so that it was on my top 10 list for
until
this
you
year.
found that it was from 2018.
Missy fucking had to tell me. Missy's like, oh, I was gonna watch it, but it's not eligible. I'm like, why the fuck is it not eligible? Like, I was very angry. Like, how dare you, madam?
And no, he was, maybe we could find a loophole and like
Yeah.
change it. I was like,
I go,
don't do that.
Did it come out like in cans in 2018 and then maybe wide release in 2019? She's like, no,
No,
motherfucker.
man.
I go, what? Like maybe December?
Like March.
I'm like, maybe no, August. And I'm like, God damn, shit.
So anyway, there's a difference for me in storytelling. Like if bad things happen or tragic things happen because that's the way the story goes, that's fine. But for me, it's different when like you can tell that they're doing
I don't think this is the song
things-
that I was thinking about, by the way.
This is definitely the song that they were talking about on 30 Rock though.
Is it just
I
the
also
chorus
wanted to
hasn't
point
kicked in?
out-
Is
I
the
also-
hook hasn't kicked in? this is not the song that
well,
we're
the
talking
song's
about.
called "Fix You," and he said it like 3 times so far, so
Yeah.
probably. But
No, this is not the song that we're talking
what
about.
I want to point out about everything that she just said is that is the entire brand of the Grey's Anatomy 17
Yeah.
seasons.
Yeah, 100%.
And
I
she,
still
like-
watch Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, and you still jerk off to this fucking Grey's Anatomy, so I don't understand what the problem is with...
my Grey's Anatomy, and I've said it a million times. I've watched.
And by the way, This Is Us is not that, by the way.
Oh yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Oh yes, it
I've
is.
seen 6 episodes, and only 2 of them made me cry, so fuck that.
I've seen a season and a half.
I've seen 6 episodes, and only 2 made me cry, and I'm a pussy. So how is this the recipe for the whole season?
That's a compliment. Pussies are very powerful organs.
Oh my god, you have no idea. Move the fucking world. No, that's my point. My
Yeah, you're
point.
ruining your
I've
life
only
for good
I've seen
pussy.
maybe I don't think 6. I think it's seen 5. But I remember even live tweeting it when I saw the first
Right.
episode for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Well, I cried in that
The
first
second
episode.
one I don't think got
Time
me.
out.
The third one got me, and I was like, and then I even tweeted. I was like, what? Not every episode gonna make me cry? What kind of bullshit is this? That's not what I signed up for.
Yeah.
That was the joke I made on Twitter. But I know for a fact that it was less than half of the episodes that I had watched, and maybe I watched 5. So it was like 2 episodes made me cry out of 5.
So all of that to say, why the fuck did the song stop playing?
Because
Because it's not the song.
Speaking of Twitter, do you want to tell everybody your new girlfriend on Twitter? Your new girlfriend. Who's the boss?
Oh, that's right. I was like, you know about her? Like,
You're
I haven't
disgusting.
even told you
Wait,
guys.
just to finish my point.
Did I find out? Did you guys find out?
What? Sorry,
You
go
guys are
ahead.
still here?
Finish
You
my
picked
point.
me?
I feel like a lot of times in writing, you can tell when things are happening organically and where things are forced. And I just felt like things were very forced.
I didn't
But
feel
we
that
can
at all.
talk about it more if and when Missy watches
I'm
it.
gonna watch it.
I didn't feel that at all.
I'm
And I
probably
didn't-
gonna watch
I
Joker
feel-
tomorrow, so I'll be in the right frame of mind to watch something really fucking
I
depressing.
feel as if, and this is again, I feel as if the last chapter, because the story goes.
Oh my
by
god, that
chapter.
last chapter I wanted to blow my brains out.
The last chapter, I feel that was that quote unquote twist. I was like, I saw that coming.
I saw that coming a mile away.
Sure, and I'm okay with that because I was okay with the what actually happened.
From the little kid on the bus
Stop.
is where I
Yeah,
was
man,
just
come
kind of
on, man. You just
that-
that's like giving away too much.
Well, the
information.
only
kid on the
thing
bus
is-
is not giving anything away.
Listen,
in context of what I just said, and you followed it up with
why?
that. That's fucking.
Why did you stop playing Coldplay though? I'm still stuck on that. I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna watch it, and I don't know anything about the movie. I saw the trailer last year when it was.
I'd never heard of this fucking movie.
Well,
the
I've
only
seen the
reason I
trailer.
heard
It
about
was
this movie is 'cause
limited release.
I was watching Amazon because my kids overtook my computer and my iPad in the living room, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And so I came into
He
the
was
office.
banished to the
So
office.
I was banished to the office, and I was like, "You know what? This is a good time to watch Amazon Prime because it's on my computer and
Right.
it's
I
fine."
had never really ventured into the world of Amazon Prime.
I have-
and I have recently, and I'm glad I have.
I have a few times throughout the years, and it's always in the same scenario. It's always in the same. I've
You're
been banished to
banished.
the office, and the first time that I watched it was like Tomahawk. I wasn't banished because of the kids. I was banished because it was like I couldn't sleep. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, and if I would have turned the TV on, it would have woken people up. So I came to the office to watch TV. That was my banishment. I self-proclaimed my self-made banishment, and then I watched Amazon Prime. So my whole point is, so I'm watching Late Night, the movie Late Night with Minnie Kaling.
I saw that.
Fantastic.
It
I
was
loved
great.
it, blah, blah, whatever. You'll hear about it later on a future episode. Of
I
Weebro.
also saw Long Shot.
So I saw that, and then after watching that, they were like, other Amazon people also watched this movie. And here's the thing, and when you go to Amazon Prime or Prime Now, and you put the mouse over a movie, it gives you the rundown of the movie, the
Right.
actors, and then it gives you the rating, your user reviews, just like any other Amazon product would. And the user reviews for Life Itself is higher than that of Late Night. And I just watched Late Night. I'm like, what the fuck? Late Night was great. This movie, I've never heard of this movie, but I like Olivia Wilde, and I like Oscar Isaac, and it's rated higher than the movie that I just saw that I just liked. All right, let's see if it's true. And they fucking hook, line, and sinker, and I got me. That's the only reason I watched it. It's because like other people watch this. Amazon and their fucking
fucking recommendations.
their recommendations and the way their what's that thing called?
The algorithm.
Algorithm. And I'm like, motherfucker, you got me. You know. You knew. People also bought tissues and cover up makeup.
Antidepressant.
People who watch this movie also Googled licensed mental health counselors.
So I was like, all right. So I watched. That's the only reason I watched it. So I had no idea. So because Late Night came out in 2019
right.
and this one came as a recommendation, I just assumed
that it was
a 2019. There was a new movie.
I honestly, I thought it was a 2019 also because I didn't realize that it's been that long. But
it is, man. Yeah.
It's all right.
So Amazon.
I'm sorry that it's not. You couldn't use your number one. My bad.
It wasn't my number one, but it was really up there. It was really fucking up there.
terrible.
It was really fucking up there. It wasn't my number one. I already know my number one.
Yeah.
For my number one.
We know what your number one is.
For my number one to be taken off of this list, to be moved
like
down.
The Rock has to come in your face.
Like, oh my God. From your lips to God's ears. And by God, I mean The Rock himself. Speaking of which, I was on Instagram, right? And I've become this huge Instagram stories whore, like where I just go through everybody's stories.
I just watch Instagram stories for like an hour.
Yeah, I'm like, this is great. Like, even because, I started following I follow 6,000 people now, right? And I just like people that I don't even know. Be like, oh, you follow the Improv? I'm gonna fucking follow you because you follow the Improv, and hopefully you'll follow me. And my friends are like, oh, you could unfollow them if they don't follow you back. I'm like, no, I kind of like knowing these strangers' lives. Like, it's fucking weird, right? And then so I'm on Instagram stories. And somebody who's been to my shows, it's a lady who's been to my shows before, and she just posted a picture of her Amazon package, right, of an envelope, and it was her first time ever using Amazon. What? That's my reaction, right? That face right there. That's
2019 is the first time you use Amazon.
I wish
Maria?
Was she an old?
No, it's not your mom. No, it's not an older lady. It's not an older. Like, no, she was like I'm
expect like a grandma.
She looks fucking great.
I expect that, but
no, not
like
an old
my
person.
grandmother probably doesn't even know what the fuck Amazon is.
My mom knows what Amazon is.
I asked my grandma. My grandmother doesn't drive. My grandmother's like 75. She doesn't drive, and I've told her, I'm like, if you want to come to my house, like I'll get you an Uber. Cause she's in fucking Gables. I live in West Kendall, and it's 45 minutes to go pick her up and 45 minutes to go take her home. So I was like, oh, I'll get you an Uber. You can get it in an Uber. It's like it's the same thing as a taxi. It's just, not a yellow car.
Right.
It's just, no, me van a matar.
So we're talking about Christy now?
No, Christy's gotten better.
Yeah,
I knew that was coming.
She's gone a couple times. She's done it a couple times. Huh? Listen, we took the kids, Nathan and Lincoln, in an Uber without car seats at SuperCon.
Okay.
So she's gotten better.
So so that's the story. That's the reaction that I had, and that's why I was like,
that's
what?
crazy.
Isn't that fucking crazy talk? And I was like, and then I was like, okay, what now? Like, oh yeah, I'm at Amazon. I'm like, but how do you not? Like, I don't order shit off the internet. I'm like, how
my mom?
How do you shop for Christmas presents?
How do you shop for anything? How do you shop for fucking toilet paper? I don't understand how you shop for anything without the internet. Like, it's crazy.
Do you not wipe your ass anymore?
It's crazy. Talk to me.
People still go to stores, and I don't understand why.
I don't understand.
My mom said I'm going to Costco 17 times today. I was like, you don't have to. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I'm really annoyed that Amazon Fresh doesn't deliver to my area.
I don't know what that is.
That's like the grocery delivery.
Oh.
It's like the Instacart. My issue with Instacart.
Yeah, but I have to keep using Instacart, and their delivery fees are ridiculous.
They are ridiculous.
And Amazon Fresh is free for Prime members.
I only used. I wonder if I get that. That's weird.
I think you do here because when I was living in my mom, who's like closer to here, they got it. But my new zip code does not, I guess. Yeah,
because my zip code is when they first did Prime Now, and they're like, Prime Now is starting in Miami today. We were one of the.
So you probably you live by the turnpike,
by the warehouse, by the Prime Now warehouse. I don't know if that's the same. I don't know.
That's right there.
Fresh.
You're close to FIU.
That too.
So I for sure have it then, and it's free.
I believe it's free for Prime members.
I don't know. Orders on my screen.
No, I'm on Weight Watchers, guys. I started on Weight Watchers
until
again.
10 o'clock, which unlike Instacart that stops delivering at 8, and if you don't put your fucking order in by 4:30, they send it for the next day.
Well, there's 4 minutes till 10, so
I don't know, but I'm really I'm fully aware that Amazon is gonna it's gonna be like By and Large from fucking Wall-E, and I'm fine with it.
Two things. One, just saying, Sarah. I posted a picture of the table.
Yes.
And she said we need more episodes. exclamation mark.
Yeah, she's a big Geek Bro fan.
Yeah, and so I just wrote recording as we type.
Yeah.
One, shout out to her. So
Yes.
shout out to Sarah. And two, shout out to Carlos Navarrete,
Oh my God, yes.
who had a medical
Yeah.
situation. And is he out of the hospital
I
yet?
don't know.
So I found out 2 days ago. Was it 2 days ago or yesterday?
I whenever you found out, I found out.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna disclose where he disclosed it on his personal Facebook,
but that's
but
his
we're not.
Yeah.
But just saying, he's one of our longest fans. He's one of our oldest fans. He's one of our original fans. Carlos from Geek Bro, from the entire Geek Bro family. We hope you feel better. We hope you get better, get well, and
Get well soon, kid.
and we will post more episodes of more shits to help you keep. I don't know. That's a good thing though. Well, that's what tipped him over the edge. Like, he listens to too much Geek Bro.
Oh, you know what?
There's only a certain amount of fucking garbage that somebody can listen to.
It's like what I told you. I'm not protecting you. I'm not protecting them from you. I'm protecting you from them.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing.
saying?
So, do you want to talk about your girlfriend or not, bro?
Oh shit, yes. She's a
God.
lovely lady.
Uh-huh.
Guys, you know when you retweet somebody and then and then you add your own comment and then they like that, the original poster likes that?
Yeah. It's a big moment.
That's what happened between me and a certain Alyssa Milano.
Right.
So we're basically dating now.
Right.
So
Got it. Even though you're both married.
listen.
So
There's certain look. I'm not saying
my
that-
instinct
I'm not-
wasn't to point that out when he told us in the chat. I was like, do you think she'd ask her husband who the boss is when they're having sex?
I hope so. If not, then what the hell
No,
are we
but
doing this
isn't
for?
she the one that's on a sex strike?
No.
Yeah, wasn't she the one that called for the sex
Okay,
strike?
I
No,
don't
she was
know.
doing that to be sarcastic because of the whole the abortion laws in Georgia.
Oh,
or
I thought that
whatever.
was real. Okay, never mind.
Wow, Jesus. I
don't know.
No, that was a thing that she was like.
I really doubt that. Women like to fuck too. There's no way they're gonna go with sex.
And I've
strike.
seen Embrace of the Vampire, so she loves to fuck.
Isn't it like that B horror movie she made in between Who's the Boss and Charmed?
Goddamn right. Goddamn right.
Do you own it on digital, you sick
Digital,
bastard?
every format, madam, every fucking format. It's Embrace of the Vampire, Ninja 3: The Domination, and The Last Dragon, and Bloodsport. All those movies I own on every fucking format.
You know what's really sad is that of those 4 movies, I've seen 3. I haven't seen her movie, but I've seen the other 3.
Oh, I'm so sad. Sarah says, "Oh, finally, you guys keep me company while I work out." I'm so sorry.
You know what? We were talking the other day
You
about
are listening to overweight people during your workout, and I think that says something.
Maybe that's motivation.
I don't want to be like them. Fuck that.
You can hear him breathing. Listen to him breathing.
Down, you can hear him breathing.
She's great though. We DM back and forth all the time. We talked about Modern Love together, and you're wrong about everything you think.
What's Modern Love?
The show on Amazon we want you to
we
watch when you're
just
not paying
fucking
attention.
covered this.
I'm sorry.
He was on the phone. He was just doing
it
this, but
wasn't
he was on the phone.
It was the fact that you were talking about a show. You were saying that it's sappy, and then the immediate reaction, the immediate thought, even though you were still talking, the immediate thought that popped into my mind is like, well, she didn't like life itself. So
I
how
like
fucking
this show.
good?
I like
can
this show. I
Okay.
like it for
be?
different reasons than she does, but I really, really like it.
I need you to watch it.
Okay.
Because we have very different perspectives
On certain characters.
on certain characters and certain, except for one episode. But other than that, so I need a tiebreaker because Christy started, but she didn't finish.
She
so
said it was too much for her and she had to stop watching because she was crying.
Too much for Christy.
Yeah. She said she was crying like 10 minutes in.
She loves crying.
I know.
Well, she saw the
I
first
love
2
the fact that she
episodes.
replied to me when you and Jeff were bashing this movie. She goes, "I'm afraid I'm your only hope, BFF." I'm like, "You really are. You're like my fucking Leia. You're my only hope."
So anyway, we had very different reactions to these stories. So I need a tiebreaker. I was counting on Christy. She stopped after 2 episodes. So you're it.
Okay.
It's an easy watch. Like I watched it in
it's
half
super
in a
simple.
day.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
I started it like Monday night and by Tuesday afternoon I was done.
Yeah.
So
All right.
BFF,
Yes.
you're a guy, so I haven't expected you to notice this. But have you noticed?
I like the fact that you said you're a guy, like very informational. You're a guy.
Just a reminder.
Like if I'm a fucking cyborg, that you're supposed to like, you're a male. And
you're
I'm
not
like,
a eunuch
I am
anymore.
male.
You're a guy.
I don't expect you to have noticed this. But have you noticed anything about my face?
Say yes.
Yeah, of course.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, the skin is tighter.
No, you're
Yeah. No?
Skin is tighter where?
Around her eyes? I'm assuming. Yeah, eyes. Right? Didn't you get collagen?
I got Botox.
Botox, right? Yeah.
I finally got Botox.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Wait, do you really want to disclose that? Has Dave?
Yeah, I didn't. I already.
He doesn't listen to this. Number one.
But here's the thing.
Number
I already
two.
knew because Vanessa told me.
Oh,
But my point is.
I didn't want to throw under the bus, but that checked out.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
yeah.
that's fine.
But I just don't know why you're still relatively a new model.
It's
I don't understand
preventative.
why.
I will say this. First of all, he doesn't listen to this. Second of all, it's been 2 weeks and he hasn't noticed. And he always told me from like
From the jump.
From the jump, whenever I had like the first.
I said that one time recently to a friend of mine. I was like, from the jump, and they're like, "How fucking hood are you? You're saying from the jump," and I'm like, now I can't stop thinking about every time I say from the beginning. I'm like,
Right.
from the jump.
It's
I'm
not
like,
as bad as that's what's up, because that's horrible.
I do say that a lot.
Well,
Don't do that.
He
she
always-
gets mad at me when she's talking to me, FaceTiming me, and then somebody will see me on the ship. The DJ,
Yeah.
and he's like complimenting me.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god,
that's
he
what's up.
fucking goes like from like he's the gayest straight man I've ever. We have the exact taste in men, and we talk about this. He'll walk by and be like, "What's up, man?" and do the whole fucking thing and talk whatever, and then walk away and go, "Yeah, that's what's up." And I'm like, I'm hanging up on you now. Like, this is disgusting.
So anyway,
Sorry that I'm not the gay straight man to other men.
sorry.
You should be. Live your truth, okay?
All of it can be my truth. I'm not just one thing. Go ahead.
In conclusion, David, from the minute I expressed interest in
From
getting
the jump.
Botox,
Title of the
AKA from the jump.
Title of the fucking episode.
Has
Write
said-
it down.
has said, I don't want you to do that. And I've said, you wouldn't even notice if I got it. And he goes, I would absolutely notice the second you did it because I know your face. It has been a full 2 weeks, a full 15 days, nothing.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, so to defend my friend Dave.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Because I feel like I have to.
Okay.
To defend
His
my
whole
friend
life.
Dave. That's what he's supposed to say. Honey, I mean, what do you want your husband when you tell him I want
It
to
is
put
kind of a trap, though.
It's a trap situation.
Because what if he would have been like, finally,
It's fine.
you missed your
Yeah,
fucking.
and
Like,
what is he supposed to say?
Then he
I'm
dies.
stepping on my joke, but yeah, what is he supposed to
You could just
fucking say?
Oh my God.
Oh,
I
okay,
support you in everything you
if
do.
That's what you want.
But that's first of all, it would be kind of like transparent that's kind of the political answer. Right? Like that's kind of like, I mean, whatever you want to do is fine. It's just he's not supposed there's no winning that situation. Right? As a man, your wife goes, "Do I look fat in this?" No. I don't give a fuck if she looks like a house. You go, "No." No, what? You
He's
look
actually
great.
he's told me before that something does not. He hasn't said that makes you look fat.
That's
but
what I'm
he's
saying.
told
There's
me,
ways of saying I don't like the way that looks on you.
Or
I don't
he
like,
told me like you should probably change.
I don't like the way that looks on you, or blah blah blah. But I've never, you know what I mean. So, but the question isn't. But nowadays, what I get isn't, hey, do I look fat in this? The question is, do you like this, or what do you think about this outfit, or what do you think about this? You know what I mean?
See, what I usually ask is, does this look bad?
That's not the same thing as do I look fat.
No,
That's not the same.
It's more general.
So when you tell your husband of 10 years, hey, I'm thinking about putting chemicals in my face. What the fuck is he supposed to be like? Fuck, God. I mean, I think that's the only thing that's gonna help at this situation. Like, how the fuck is he supposed to react? He's supposed to tell you, no, I don't want you to do that. Right? That's the fucking job. That's the job as a husband is supposed to do that. Do I really believe that? No. I mean, I said the same thing when Vanessa told me that you got Botox. I was like, why? She doesn't even fucking smile. Who gives a fuck? Like, she's obviously not. Like, I don't understand. What's the big deal? But I never thought to myself, that's stupid. She shouldn't get it. I thought to myself, but why is she doing it? I just asked the question, why? If you want to get it, you want to get it. Do I notice a difference? No.
Okay.
I don't notice a difference. But I guess that's the point.
That's the point.
That the point is you're not supposed to notice a difference. Because if you do notice a difference, then they did too much and then
Right.
they did it wrong.
Right, and they did just enough where it's not completely frozen, but
The question, here's my own thing.
okay.
It's your decision, your body.
Right.
Do you feel good about this?
I do.
Then that's all that fucking matters, dude. Why does it matter what another dude says? I don't
No,
know.
it
Like,
doesn't.
She's just bringing up the fact that she's entrapped him and he hasn't noticed
that's
yet.
a real entrapment question. Though. That's a real situation.
And then, so now at this point, if for some reason they put a gun to his head and he's watching and he's listening to this episode, if he were to be like, hey, is there something new about your face? Now he's fucked.
Yeah.
Because now you took too long and you're saying it's better? It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap.
No, I like genuinely want to see how long I can go doing this before he notices.
I mean, I don't think that Dave would notice
No,
that the
I
house
don't-
was on fire
No,
unless you
you're
told
probably
him.
right.
So it's not. I don't think like you know what I mean. Like
No,
it's
you're right.
it's a tall order.
The thing is, he's in grad school right now. I don't know if you're aware of this, but he's in grad school.
Oh, really?
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. I'm not aware.
No, I'm just saying because it's not like he mentions it every fucking conversation.
Did he also happen to live in Barcelona?
Barcelona. I forgot what he said the other day in the chat, and I was like, "Oh, really? Are you in school? I couldn't tell. You've never
Oh, when
brought
he
it
was-
up before."
when he's
and he
ta-
goes, "Yeah. Also, I stopped eating meat. I don't know if I mentioned that before too." I'm like, Jesus.
I think it was when he was talking about all the languages that he speaks.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
And now he has to take a language as an elective. I was
Right.
like, oh my God, I've never vomited so much in my whole life.
Is he-
If that guy ever starts doing CrossFit, like fucking forget it.
That's what
bro.
I said. I was like, we should. I wanted to do CrossFit just so I could.
Another box, like, to check off another
I
box.
want to create the Voltron of fucking arrogance. Like I just want to create this. Like you thought I was arrogant before. Tú creías que yo iba, and like just every language that he speaks in and shit, and fucking do German and fuck. Oh god, Jesus.
And like Spanish, but like Spanish,
The
like from
Spanish.
Spain.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that I was hanging out with crew members the other day, like a month ago?
From Barcelona.
And they were literally from.
Did you laugh in their face when they said Barcelona?
No,
but
well,
that's how they actually
like, they actually
talk.
talk.
It's not
So
like
it's
making
kind of
fun of-
difficult to. And I was like, did I tell you? I told you about this one friend of mine that works on a ship that she is British.
Yes, she's British, but she also
but she was, raised in Spain from the age of 10. So she speaks perfect Spanish, and when she speaks English, it's with a British accent. And I'm like, I've never seen.
But she doesn't speak Spanish with a British accent because
No,
I've heard that.
No,
too,
she
and
doesn't
that's
speak
weird.
Spanish. She speaks perfect Spanish.
Oh, I know. Okay.
And then when she speaks English, it's with a British accent. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening here. I'm like, my brain is confused.
You know what I also saw? Now speaking of accents, sorry.
Yeah.
I saw the first season, and I can't find the second season anywhere streaming. But I saw the first season of Killing Eve. And
Never even heard.
There
of it.
hasn't been a second season yet. That's
yes,
why you
there
can't
has
find
been a
it.
second season.
It's a
It was
Hulu
supposed to-
original.
no, it's not, and it was supposed to be. It's a BBC original. It streams on Netflix.
BBC One.
It
BBC
streams
Two.
on Netflix, and the second season was supposed to be streaming on AMC when it first aired in May, and now the
The first
episodes are
season
gone.
started in 2018, and there's 18.
Killing Eve. This one, the one that's on Hulu. That there's only one season
Yes, because the second season aired in May, and now you can't find the episodes.
All right, so the way they're splitting this up is, I think, how many episodes are there in the first season?
Like 8.
Okay, because the first season has 8 episodes. The second season has 8 episodes. But I think it's currently airing because it's April.
Right, because it's supposed to
2019.
be currently airing, and AMC is supposed to have it, but they don't.
Oh, I've never even heard of this.
Bro, this show's so fucking good.
I've never heard of this show.
You like spy shit, right?
Sure.
It's
I mean, I don't know if I like enough different spy things to say I like spy shit in general, but I'm not opposed to it.
it's really good. I'm hit or miss with spy shit. I'm oversaturated with it a lot of times.
Well, it's probably your husband's fault.
You think?
I mean, you know.
But it's really good. Really fucking good.
Uh-huh.
If anybody's looking for a new show
From the jump.
from the jump.
Are you watching it from the? You watch it from the jump.
did.
All right. All right. Is it why? Why would you bring up accents? Like you brought that up out of
Because
accents.
because
I was like, what the fuck? I'm confused. You put a screeching halt to
because
this.
the girl that's like the villain is the actress is British, but she does like she speaks perfect Russian.
Oh.
So
How do you know what perfect Russian sounds like?
because David's uncle is Russian, and I've heard him speak Russian.
The Voltron.
David's uncle's from Moscow, so
Pretentious.
David,
That's the word. I'm
David, your husband
David, my husband,
has a Russian
has a Russian uncle.
from who birthed him.
Nobody birthed him; he married into the family.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Nobody birthed him. Like, how does that work?
He's from the same lab that they made stuff.
His mother birthed him, but he is not blood related. He is related by marriage.
Blood,
He is somebody's husband.
Blood.
blood.
He is David's blood aunt's husband.
Oh, so, yeah.
I also have Russian friends, but that's neither here nor there.
I'm glad you say that's neither here nor there, because you know it's not neither here nor there, but you still feel the need to brag about that, like if that's bragging somehow.
I'm not bragging. She just wants to know. You asked me how I know what Russian sounds
Yeah, how do you know what perfect Russian sounds like?
From Russian people.
I don't. I have friends who are Brazilian. I don't know what the fuck perfect Portuguese sounds like.
I know how to say bruschetta right because I have my friends Italian, and it's not bruschetta, it's bruschetta.
So there's a story coming out that eggplant and peach emojis are being banned from Facebook and Instagram,
which is really stupid.
From what I'm reading, it's only if they're used next to each other.
What's the point?
That's what I read the story. So how about you put an eggplant, heart, and then a peach, or vice versa? You get what I'm saying?
But can you put the O face with the eggplant next to it?
That's what I'm saying.
So put it on your Facebook.
Or this one, like the OK.
But it says, so the story is, eggplant peach emojis banned for, quote, sexual use on Facebook and Instagram, which is the only reason these fucking things exist, because nobody was eating fucking that many eggplants that they go, we need a fucking eggplant emoji. Nobody fucking eats eggplant that much.
Okay, Dave, they finally answered Dave's emails.
The popular social media platforms, Instagram and Facebook, laid out new rules in the community standard updates, and those who pair, that's why I'm saying next to each other, those who pair the eggplant with the peach are subject to being banned. However, if you simply using an emoji to tell a friend or family member that the eggplant you're currently enjoying is amazing, then you should be fine. What if I'm eating an eggplant peach salad?
That's disgusting. That combination is probably
you have a lot more issues going on than just wanting to use those emojis.
I think you have more of an issue than just getting banned from Facebook. I think getting banned from Facebook is your least of your worries at this point.
I mean, if you can get banned from Facebook, that's actually an accomplishment because, you know.
It says content will be removed from Facebook and Instagram if it contains a sexual emoji alongside an implicit or indirect ask for nude imagery, sex or sexual partners, or sex chat conversations. An Instagram spokesman said, "We are taking action on simply the emojis. We aren't taking actions simply in the emojis." So it's context. Like I tell people all the time, context is like, oh, but he said this. Like, yeah, but context fucking matters, dude. So I guess that's the thing, that if you're, you know,
I just find it a little curious that they have a problem with that, but they're okay with lying, like false political ads running on their website without an issue.
Not to be that guy,
Facebook.
but dude, peach emojis. Come on. Somebody's got to crack down on this shit. We got to crack down on this peach and eggplant emoji. We can't just be having eggplant and peach emojis all next to each other all the fucking time.
You know the flashback scenes in Handmaid's Tale where everything is like normal, but there's signs?
Right.
We're living one right now.
Speaking of political ads, Twitter is banning all political ads.
Yeah. Good for you, bro.
Awesome.
Shout out.
Good
Yeah.
job, Twitter.
That's a good job.
I love Twitter.
I'm more of an Instagram guy.
Me too. I'm more of an Instagram guy.
I do appreciate Twitter, and I do check my Twitter on a daily basis, but I don't really post every day. But Instagram I check often.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and often. So a shout out for them, I guess, for removing. But they don't. Do they have political ads on Instagram?
They
have political ads on Facebook, and Zuckerberg just went before Congress and said that he's not removing them because it should be up to the person to decide what is real and what is fake.
Yeah,
he's not wrong.
You're giving a lot of credit to a lot of people that didn't make those differences in the last one. And
here's my question to you, though: as a business, why is that my fault?
Oh, it's not.
So
but I think as a business, you also have a responsibility, like an ethical responsibility.
I don't think you do. I don't. You mean you're not? You know what I mean? You're. I'm not on Zuckerberg's side. Just to clear the air for the listener, I'm saying
Zuckerberg is like a supervillain.
I agree.
Like
he's Lex Luthor.
He is the beginning of Lex Luthor.
He's the beginning of Lex Luthor. I'm not even debating that. All I'm saying is that what he said was technically not inaccurate. He's not. It's up to the viewer to decide. You watch a horror movie, it's up to you to decide whether it's real or not.
So
if you go and watch, I don't know, fucking The Exorcist, and you want to believe, that's a bad example.
That is a real story.
That's a bad example.
That is a bad example
because that's a religious shit, and that goes into the whole thing.
It was also a true story.
I don't know how to even address that without. I don't even know how to address that without.
He's short circuiting.
How do I address that without contradicting what I said at the beginning of the episode? That I'm a Christian? It's like I can't.
You can't. It's a trap. It's a trap.
Just move on. It's okay.
So you're literally watching Ghost. It's like showing Ghostbusters and being like, I'm gonna ban Ghostbusters because that's now you're banning shit for the sake of the lowest common denominator. So you're banning books because they say a racial word. So you're banning Tom Sawyer now because they say the N word X amount of times, and nowadays that's considered racist. Yeah, but you're not looking at it within context. So where do we draw the line? It's a slippery slope. Again, not defending Zuckerberg in the premise, and let me rephrase that. I'm not arguing your point, Stephanie, that said that companies should have a moral responsibility. I'm not even arguing that. But I'm arguing where do you draw the line?
So I think you would draw the line when there is actual proof that foreign countries infiltrated Facebook ads in order to skew this political campaign, and it was allowed.
The only
that's
ads
where I
that
think
they're
you
gonna
would draw
ban
the
are
line.
bans that
I think that if it would, like, tell me that Trump wants to run an ad that's completely false about any of the Democratic candidates, and you want to run it, then I would see where your argument has like a shot, right? But when there's actual like stone cold proof that a foreign country infiltrated social media, not just Facebook, just social media in general, with fake false ads blatantly, and there's proof of it,
right.
And it skewed the election in a direction that favored what this foreign country wanted, then yeah, that's where I think
But you're using the word foreign as if to say that Facebook isn't an international company.
I'm saying
You're saying-
a foreign
Facebook
country.
Russia should have nothing to do with Facebook America.
Okay, that there I can see the argument. There you go. Now you're getting into specifics.
They're talking about Facebook. They're talking about American. They're talking about specifically ads for this upcoming presidential.
I'm okay with saying, hey, the fact that you got hacked or the fact that you got infiltrated or whatever, that's a conversation to be had. I don't know. Like,
but that was the context of like him being in Washington.
That's why the discussion even started.
No, I think it's more than an open and shut case. So I didn't vote for Trump. This has been said 1,010,000 times, right? This is the first time in 3 years I've ever even said his name out loud. I'm not even being sarcastic or exaggerating. I don't say the man's name. I don't like the guy, but we're talking about Facebook and we're talking about the responsibilities of a corporation, and I'm just like, unless there's like if there's like sex trafficking, like, oh no, that's a fucking responsibility.
But tell me that he was a startup company and putting these kind of boundaries would crush his business model. And then I could tell you, well, give him a fair shot to run his business first. He's not poor.
Right. That's a good point.
He's made his money, enough money for him and generations of his families to come, where they're gonna be.
That makes sense.
Okay.
That's a fair point.
So, to me, I don't have a problem with you being rich. I have a problem with you defending shitty behavior
because you're rich.
Because you're rich, and it's like now it's like, well, how much money do you need when you're Mark Zuckerberg?
Right.
So that's my opinion on the matter. And
do you want to talk about what the story you forwarded me and you asked me my opinion on?
I send you a lot of stuff. BFF. Which
yes,
one?
But the story that triggered the hell out of you, and you.
Oh, sure. Okay. Trigger warning.
Okay.
So last week, again, because Twitter, I love Twitter for. It's like a dip your foot in the well and then run. Mm-hmm. But I came across this and we had this conversation stuff. I brought it up to Steph, where Harvey Weinstein last week was invited to a
party or something.
No. So what it was it's supposed to be an invitation only event hosted by this bar, where comics and other artists were invited to come and kind of like a networking thing for artists. At some point, it was noticed that Harvey Weinstein was in the corner.
Right.
And so...
That's him in the corner.
Correct. And he had a posse.
Finish the rest of that song.
I just not losing your religion is getting there. I'm gonna get there, but it's not that. It wasn't.
Can you name me a very iconic scene in a teenage drama where that song was played?
I tell you the music video.
Missy?
Duh. It's when Brenda and Dylan were breaking up. What kind of question is that?
I mean, she calls me the straightest gay guy. Doesn't mean that the gayest straight guy. Doesn't mean that I'm actually gay.
Yeah. We only talk about it. He doesn't do any of the things.
And to be fair, that show came. I mean, you're younger than me. How the fuck are you watching?
I used to watch that show.
Yeah, so did I.
When I was like 7,
I remember watching the day that it aired. I watched that kid shoot himself with a fucking gun. I remember because I came home from a Halloween party. I was in 5th grade, and I came home from a Halloween party. And I was by myself because my whole family, except for my grandfather, my whole family was in Nicaragua. And I was watching that show.
I remember being in bed with my mom, and she had to have thought I was asleep because I watched it with her all the time. But I remember being in bed and watching the scene where the car blows up with Dylan's dad inside of it.
Or we thought.
Or so we thought.
Spoiler alert. I'm sorry.
His dad faked his death.
Jesus Christ.
But I remember that. I remember him being like, no, like in the middle of the parking lot.
Yeah. So anyway, Harvey Weinstein was invited to this event in New York, and several people started
I saw that documentary. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but that's a good one.
Several people noticed, and this comic named Kelly Bachman goes on stage, and I don't want to... Okay, so she gets on stage, she begins her set, and she says something she says, "Are we going to address the elephant in the room? I didn't know we had to bring our own mace and rape whistles to Actors Hour." And then people started booing her, and
booing her,
aggressively booing her, and then told her to shut up. And then she said, someone said, somebody yelled at her, "Fuck you," and she goes, "Fuck me," and she goes... I'm paraphrasing the shit out of this interaction, but
you gotta look it up online. She
essentially said, on behalf of all rape victims, she looked at him and was like, "Fuck you," and then did her set. At some point in this event, there was an intermission. A second performer who was interviewed by Vulture, and you could look up that article, but she was interviewed by Vulture, and essentially she had noticed that it was him, and there was murmuring before intermission.
I didn't read the Vulture article, but I read the Times article about this.
She's trying to build up the nerve to figure out what the fuck the move here is, and apparently a second comic before the intermission went up, and playing off of the Kelly Bachman's set was like, "Oh, are we gonna address the elephant in the room? Because he made Good Will Hunting, and that movie's great." And to which then at that point, the second comic, the one that approached him during intermission, was like, he had a chance to fucking stand there and do the right thing, for lack of a better word, and he kind of bent over. She says that he got off the stage, shook hands, had a nice little laugh back and forth with Harvey Weinstein, and the guy went on his way. So at intermission, she gets up and confronts him, and she was like, "Hey, what's your name?" And then the people he was with was like, "You don't have a right to that." She's like, "Yes, the fuck I do. What's your name?" Trying to get him to admit that it was Harvey Weinstein. She gets kicked out. As they're kicking her out, the guy who's kicking her out is telling her he deserves due process. He deserves due process. All the shit popped off on Twitter, and so the establishment says, I forget the name of the bar, but they essentially released a statement the next day going, we open our doors to everyone.
They try to say that they didn't know he was going to be there, which is bullshit, because it was
invitation only.
And not only is it invitation only, it's one of those pop-up events.
List.
It's one of those pop-up events that happen that you don't find out where it's going to be until 2 hours before the event. So even if you have a ticket, you don't even know where the fuck it's going to be until 2 hours before the event. So the event coordinators fucking knew who they gave those tickets out to.
Yeah.
So
they had to. They gave it out to industry. They gave it out. Like the whole point is for networking.
Right.
So they apologized for the way that it was handled, but that was it. They didn't admit any fuck up.
No,
so
why
I
would
send
they?
this
because no one's talked about him for 3 months, so it's okay now.
So I send this to Neri, and I was like,
So she didn't have a lot of information, right? To begin with, Missy. She didn't have a lot of information. She goes, "What would you do? Because you're a comedian. What would you do? What do you think happened?" So she tells me the very limited information, and I go, "I would have to see her entire set because." Just because she is calling out the elephant in the room, so to speak, there has to be funny behind it. You can't just say, "Hey, look, there's an asshole there in the corner. He's a rapist," because you can.
I was gonna say you can say.
Oh no,
that,
you
but-
can, but you can. You shouldn't expect everybody to clap just for the sake of clapping because you're pointing out the truth, even though it is the truth.
Right.
Because if you're in a comedy setting, rule number one above everything else is comedy is number one. Funny is number one. Period. So if you're funny,
and
you
don't-
should get laughs.
And time out. You don't have to agree with that, but those are the rules.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's just how it is.
Again, I'm not saying that. I am definitely not saying that. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
I am definitely not saying Harvey Weinstein had the right to be there. I am definitely not saying that he should have been there. I am definitely not saying any of this. I'm saying her question was, as a performer, what would you have done? As a comedian, what would you have done? So here's my dilemma that I had with this situation. Again, this is prior to knowing the very specifics of it. Was she booed? Yes. Okay. Why was she booed? Was she not funny, or was she booed for the simple fact that she
called out
Harvey Weinstein? After watching the video, she wasn't funny. She had one funny joke, and that was a rape whistle joke, and that was funny. I thought it was fun when Missy said it to me. Even just reading the words, the transcript, I was like, that's a funny bit. But she didn't start out funny. Like, she started off stumbling, like, with good fucking reason.
I mean, there's a fucking rapist in the room.
There's a fucking rapist in the room, and she's a rape victim. There's a fucking good reason.
Right.
So then, from a perspective of a performer, Missy was like, would you have said anything? And I go, I don't know. And I'm being completely honest, because my stand-up, my performance is about me and my family. So now you're asking me to, should I go up on stage in a room that has industry people? Because typically you're supposed to want to do good in front of these people because they can make a career for you.
Right.
They can help your career at least. Am I supposed to now go up there and change my set? Because like, that's not who I am. I'm not a topical comic. I don't talk about what's in the news. I don't talk about any of this. I don't get political. I don't get religious. I don't get any of that. I talk about my kids. I talk, so now I got to go up on stage and change that to address the quote unquote elephant in the room. Like,
Which he didn't even like. And if Neri was a performer, it's not his fault. He's fucking there.
yeah,
No,
like
it's
it's
not.
not, and it's not my responsibility to be a social activist now and be like, I got to call you out because you're a fucking rapist, man.
It kind of should be
As a comedian, why?
because, well, whatever. That's a whole other.
No. This is a conversation. This is the conversation I want to have.
Because in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, but
Sure.
in my opinion, but like, if you feel strongly about something, you need to be strong about it consistently.
But if I feel strongly about something to change my act, we're talking about an act. We're not talking about this is not a get on stage. This is not a rally. This
No, I understand.
this isn't a social platform. This is me doing my act. So as a performer, I'm supposed to change my act now because
no, I'm not saying you have to change your act.
Yeah, that's the
I'm not saying
question.
you have to change your entire act. I'm just saying, like,
But that's changing my act.
But
You
it
bring
doesn't-
up. You've
Asshole
seen
in
my
the
show.
room.
You've seen my show.
yeah,
When do I ever get political? When do I ever get anything socialistic?
You don't.
I don't. So,
But for
me bringing it up even once is changing my act.
okay, but what I've seen your act, and I've seen when there's like a heckler.
Right.
So can we kind of? It's not super equal, but can we think about it like that? Like the fact that this guy is here, that he's had so much attention, like there's attention that's being drawn away from your act or your set and drawn onto him simply by him being there.
Right.
So that's, if somebody before you, let's say you're following this chick and she's already brought it up, and so the other guy brought it up too. There's two people that have brought it up, and you're coming up next, and it's already been addressed. Can we kind of look at it in that similar light?
It would be even. Here's the thing. I would personally. This is me. Again, I don't know. Nobody knows what you'll do in a situation
not.
until you're put into the situation. As a performer, knowing myself, I've been in 10 million showcases and blah 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 throughout the new stand-up 16 years. If I was the person following the first person who brought it up, I might talk about it up front or maybe at the end or whatever, or I might sneak in a little jab at the end or whatever. If I'm the third person, two people have already brought it up, I'm not bringing it up. That's already a fucking dead horse, and I don't like. That's already now it's the equivalent of I did a show the day after the Chilean miners were rescued, and I was not exaggerating, ninth on the fucking bill. Ninth. 8 fucking comics went up there and talked about the Chilean miners, whether it was their entire set, their entire 8-minute set, or they're just mentioned it for one joke. Every single comic talked about the Chilean miners, and I went up there and I fucking refused to fucking bring up the Chilean miners because it's fucking done. We talked about it,
Right.
So that's. I may talk about it had there only been one person in front of me. Personally, again, just me. This is me spitballing. Again, we don't know what I don't know what I would do unless I'm really in that situation. But as a performer, like I gotta change my act now because this piece of shit. Like I may say that, like, oh fuck, I had a whole act prepared about my fucking wife and kids, and I gotta talk about some guy, some fucking rapist, because God forbid I go on, like I don't know. But whatever it is, I probably would have made it funny. She didn't. I heard her set, and it wasn't. So it was just it was a rough watch. With all due respect, because again, she's a rape victim, and it's fucking hard, dude. It's I can't even imagine being in that situation where. So
that's where I wrote him.
But what I got upset at was the second comic who went up to Harvey Weinstein after his set and shook his hand.
Right.
Like, fuck you.
Yeah, that guy.
You're a piece of shit.
Because then. And this is true, because then there's a difference between, you can choose whether or not you want to address it, and that's fine. But going up to him and like being cool with him, that's now you're going out of your way, and you're gonna blow him because he's Harvey fucking Weinstein, despite the fact that he's a fucking creep.
Now you're validating him.
Now you're like, hey, let's be friends. Now now you're picking a fucking side,
right?
Because now it's not Neri's job or anybody else's job to fucking address. Why was he there? That's the bigger question.
Yeah, that's a huge question.
Now, if Neri was invited to go fucking showcase his talent, and the organizers decided to invite him, why is he gonna fucking throw away his shot, for lack of a better phrasing, because some fucking assholes there that has no business being there to begin with? So I really approached, I was really curious just from a professional performer, like, what do you do in that scenario? For me,
the answer is I don't know.
Right,
like,
right. Then that's fair.
But I know I don't know what to do, but I know what not to do.
Right.
And what not to do is to go up to him and fucking shake his hand.
Exactly.
That's what you don't do. I was at the Miami Improv 14 years ago, and in the green room I was opening for Tommy Davidson, and in the green room was OJ fucking Simpson, and everybody and their mother. I was the opener, I was the MC, the first guy. Then the middle guy was like, oh bro, like, he was just fucking like loving the fact that he was hanging out in the green room with OJ Simpson, and I was at the bar
with OJ Simpson, a murderer.
Yeah, a murderer. And then I was at the bar, and they're like, hey Neri, you want to come inside and hang out with OJ? And I'm like, no, that's the last thing. And then, in fact, I would bring him, because I would do my act, then I'd bring up the feature, then he would finish, and I would go back on stage and bring up.
He was
just
like there just to be there?
He was friends with Tommy Davidson, and I would just literally be in the DJ booth next to the manager's office, instead of being in the green room waiting for him to get off, or waiting for the feature to get off, waiting for the headline to get off. I would just be in the manager's office. I refused to fucking be in that room, and the only time that I had to be in that room was because they told me that OJ was going to go up on stage during Tommy's set. So I had to be there, I had to be in the fucking same room with him. I didn't talk to him. I didn't fucking, I'm not going to take a picture. People are like, you want me to get a picture with him? No, I'm all right, thanks. That's when you're choosing a line. So I don't know what the right response is in the situation of the Harvey Weinstein thing.
Each performer.
As a performer, it's very difficult, and then now you're telling the performer what they can. Now you're telling them what they should say and what they shouldn't say. So I'm okay. So I don't know the answer to that question, but I know the answer what not to do, and what you don't do is you go and fucking shake a fucking rapist's hand.
No.
Or an alleged. All right, let's be fucking fair, right? Let's be fair on alleged rapist's hand. Like that, dude. That's
what I told him in my rant, because I sent him a bunch of articles, and then he fucking wrote a long ass rant, and I essentially told him, look, he deserves due process. Like that, we can't change that.
It's a constitutional
right, and it's not my job to decide whether or not he's going to go to jail. That's somebody else's job.
Right.
What triggered me, was very, very upsetting, is this fucking infrastructure. First of all, this infrastructure that everybody knows what he's being accused of, right? So whether or not you think he's guilty or not is besides the point. You're putting people in a vulnerable position, and then you're making them responsible for reacting. And so now I put myself in a position of being in the room with my abuser, and I have to decide. And again, she may or may not have been one of his victims, but a rapist is an abuser.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
So she's triggered as fuck. She has to react. It probably killed her, the whole vibe of her set,
sure.
And she has to react. The other girl that addresses him is so fucking amped and so like distressed that this fucking guy, like, we're just gonna fucking sit here and let this guy hang out. And then she gets kicked out. So the whole upsetting part for me is that why is it that in this fucking scenario, the one who's triggered is the one who gets kicked out, not the one that's fucking causing the reaction? Like, why?
The fact that she got kicked out is beyond me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like asked to leave. Like, they let her out.
Yeah.
So what's upsetting to me is that, and this is why, on a broader like spectrum, this is why the fucking system works in favor of the abuser
100%.
and not the fucking victim. And then it's like, she's trending on Twitter. She's fucking being interviewed by Vulture and a bunch of other news outlets, and they're asking her for her reaction. She has to tell the story. And so why isn't there a scenario where, if there's due process for the alleged defendant, why isn't there a fucking due process for a victim? Why isn't there someone? Where was the person in the fucking room that decided to invite him, that said, we don't fucking need his money? What is he there for? What is he casting? He's not working. Nobody's gonna work with him.
Yeah.
Maybe that fucking guy that said hi to him, but that's it.
There are people that will work.
Yeah, no, he was with like a girl and like another guy.
Yeah,
like he still has a fucking crew.
Yeah.
But so what was upsetting?
Who's gonna walk her?
Did anybody see the documentary? I can't.
No, not yet,
Untouchable?
because this kind of shit like had me fucking like livid, and like I wrote Nary like a rant, and I literally fell asleep. And the next morning, I was like, I told you I should have stayed away from the story, because it's just gonna fucking get me amped.
Which is why I asked you, do you want to go into it? I was like, are you?
I can deal. Like, but it's just very upsetting to me that in a scenario where, you're in a room with an abuser, a abuser / your abuser, whatever
Right.
you want to pick, you as the victim, you're now responsible to react in a way that doesn't make everybody uncomfortable, when the fucking guy shouldn't be there to begin with.
Right.
Like, that's why this shit goes on. That's why the argument is always like, the argument is made to believe her, because you never believe the victim. You always want to defend the fucking person that's being persecuted or whatever. Right. And again, due process is his right. That's not my job to decide whether or not he has to go to jail. But in a fucking thing that's an invitation only, it's a close quarters, because New York is fucking
and those clubs in
this
New York
club
are
could have been
big.
the size of this fucking office.
You're not exaggerating.
So It's a cozy fucking thing. You went out of your way to invite him, and you didn't expect to have a fucking reaction, unless you did expect it and you wanted it to your fucking
it's free
business,
publicity.
right? To be out there fucking trending and have this whole fucking, you know, drama or whatever. So my advocacy here isn't for whether or not, like, first of all, he shouldn't have been invited anyway. The fact that he fucking was just proves to you, and it's very disheartening. And this is something else that I told Neri. It's very disheartening because you would think that Harvey, out of everyone that has been fucking accused, Harvey Weinstein was the fucking Dorothy of this entire Me Too explosion, and he's still getting fucking privileged.
Can I ask you a question? How are you using Dorothy in that example?
Wizard of Oz.
Right, but I don't understand how that's in this example.
Like, Dorothy is the hero, like the main character.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really get the metaphor either, but I didn't want to.
I get what you were. I know you were saying that he was the first one. Is that what you're like? You're trying to say? I just don't understand how you use Dorothy as that because
she's the main character of the whole thing.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess it was a bad.
I didn't want to interrupt your.
But what I'm saying is,
I know what you're trying to say.
I get what you're trying to say. I was just like, I might miss because you know what happened. Just a side story. Somebody once this years ago goes. I used to work for a cruise line, like in corporate situation, and they called. They said, "Do you have any friends of Dorothy Cruises?" And I had no fucking idea what that meant. And do you know what that means? No. So friends of Dorothy is gay.
Oh,
like that's their term for friends of Dorothy.
Okay.
So that I didn't know that.
Okay.
And
it's like an industry term.
No, it's a gay term.
Okay.
Like in their homosexual community.
I've never heard of that.
And I had to turn to one of my friends. I had to turn to one of my coworkers, a friend of mine, and I was like, I don't know what that means. So I hung up, and then they were like, "What did you?" And then I told him, and he was like, "Oh, bro, that's fucking." He was, he was gay, and he told me. And I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to know that? He was like, I guess you're not if you're not gay. Like, he was literally like, I don't, like, I was like, I don't know. And then, but that was the thing. So I was like, so that's what I meant by when you said he's the Dorothy of the whole thing. And I was like, this is really confusing me now. This is really confusing me.
But I guess what was discouraging of the entire situation is that you would think with all the quote unquote progress and all the progressive conversations and all the fucking things and left and right, that the first motherfucker that was called out on this, because the New York Times took years to put the story together before they released to make sure that they covered.
It was Ronan Farrow.
All of their fucking ass, their asses.
It was Ronan Farrow.
I thought you said.
What?
Ronan Farrow's the one that broke the story.
No, I thought that she was talking about Farrow. What's his name? Colin Farrell. I thought she goes, it was Colin Farrell. And I go, what the fuck did you, like, I was like, excuse me? No. Is this the part of the story that I haven't heard before? Colin Farrell. What the fuck did Colin Farrell have to do with this?
Colin Farrell's living off the first 10 years of this fucking millennia being somewhere. So you would think that the first motherfucker that was called out, that popped off from the jump, this entire movement and conversation would have some kind of consequences, and he fucking doesn't. That's the first part. And the second part is the fact that why is it that in this entire paradigm of these entire conversations, the victim of the abuser has to be the one to behave, quote unquote, in a way where you're not making like making everyone else uncomfortable, because it is an uncomfortable situation, but I promise you that it's worse for me than it is for any of you motherfuckers that are just sitting there. So where the fuck was a person that was going, no, like, this is fucking wrong? And the people that did fucking the one girl that did say something gets kicked out,
right?
And she was invited there probably to network too. But now she gets fucking, she'll have some kind of consequence, whether good or bad, from this situation, when she shouldn't have been placed there to begin with.
Right.
So it's just very discouraging, because you would think that at this age, everyone is always fucking declaring like, oh, those times are over. Oh, everything has changed. No, it fucking hasn't, bro.
I mean, look, I know that it's whatever. Like, Louis, after all the shit that he has been through, is gearing up for a new tour. Like, look who's in the fucking White House. Like, there's no consequences for
there are no
things.
consequences for these things. There are always consequences. There's 100% chance.
On a high level, there's no consequence, and on a low level, there's no consequence.
But there's 100% chance of a consequence if you're the victim in this situation, and then it skews on how much the repercussions will come to you. Because you know what, babe, you could end up being on the Supreme Court justice. Doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't matter. If you go to a fucking job interview and you act the way that motherfucker did when he was being interviewed last year, nobody's giving you a fucking job. They're not gonna trust you to fucking answer the phone at a Burger King. But he gets to be fucking. So that's why that whole situation.
Start off at 10 and take it to the 11 real quick.
Yeah, it's just really fucking discouraging.
15. I'm gonna take it to 15 real quick.
So, yeah, that was my whole
Dumbo.
thing.
Colin Farrell was in Dumbo recently.
He was in Dumbo.
That's right.
You're correct.
That's a movie that's fucking sad for the sake of being sad, and I fucking couldn't even finish watching it. It was fucking awful.
I cried that entire movie.
Yeah, as you should have, because that's what they wanted you to do.
Yeah.
That's why they wrote it that way.
Yeah.
It's fucking, I don't know how to understand how that is any different than what you just portrayed life itself.
I'm not saying that I liked it or didn't like it. I'm just saying I cried the whole
It
time.
was just fucking that sepia fucking tone. Ugh.
I love a sepia
It's so
tone.
fucking
though.
disgusting, dude. I finished watching that movie.
I haven't seen it.
I bought it for no fucking reason.
I haven't seen
wish
any-
I could wish I could get a refund at the fucking at the flea market.
At the
Excuse me, I bought this movie, but I hate it. Can I get a refund for this? No, it was a perfect condition, but I don't want it. Can I pay you to take this off of my fucking
the
list?
live action Disney movies that came out this year. I haven't seen any of them.
Aladdin was really good.
I haven't seen
Aladdin was
Aladdin.
great,
Aladdin was the
dude.
I
best
haven't
one.
seen Lion King.
Aladdin was great. It's in
haven't seen Dumbo.
it's in the
Family Share.
Family Share. Aladdin was great.
I think
I'm agreeing with you
that's
about
the best
Jafar.
one. But I think Aladdin is the best, like, of the three that
It's
came out.
so
it's
good.
and
It's
I thought
so good.
that it was going to be
I may like that one
hot
better than
garbage.
the animated version. I like
I thought
Aladdin.
I was
Can
really,
you scratch my back?
really, like, skeptical because I thought it was going to be hot garbage.
Thank you.
And I was surprisingly, like, I was
I thought the movie was, I
surprised.
was happy when I saw the trailers, and I was like excited to see it, and I saw the movie.
Do
And
you
I
want me
was
to
like,
scratch your back?
Oh, it's okay.
Because, you know,
I'm
scratch
good.
my
I'm
back,
good.
scratch
Thank
yours.
Don't touch
I
me.
used to say like, scratch my back, I'll shave yours. But
What? What does happen?
okay. Dumbo, I didn't like it. It was.
I haven't seen any of them, and I should, because I know we're going to talk about
Lion King
them.
was bad acting.
Lion King I was fine with until they grew up. And then I was like, ugh.
It wasn't, but here's the thing: the voice acting from Simba was bad as a kid too. But
You can forgive a kid.
No, I can't because no, I can't because this is Disney. This is not a regular kid. This is not like Joe Blow Productions and we didn't have enough money. This is fucking Disney, bro. You can find a kid that can voice act. You know how I know this? You found one for the original one. that was also animated and there was also voice acting, and you could find a kid who could voice act. This one I didn't like. However, that bad acting was completely overshadowed by Danny Glover. Was his name?
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover.
I was so disappointed because I love him in literally everything.
else.
Literally everything. And I expected Beyonce to be bad. And I'm not saying that because I'm not a Beyonce fan. I'm just because
I don't think she was bad at all.
she was fucking terrible.
I don't think she was terrible. And then the fucking Can You Feel the Love Tonight? She killed
No,
that shit.
Can You Feel the Love Tonight was
She
good. I will
fucking
give you that.
killed it.
But I didn't expect that to be bad. I expected just her acting in general to be bad. I've seen her all her other acting roles. There's been like 4 of them. I've seen them all. She's not a good actor. That's fine. So I
haven't seen Dreamgirls.
It's in the family.
It's
share.
great, but I will tell you that of the 6 or 7 people that are in that ensemble, every single one of them got an Oscar nomination except for her.
Right. That doesn't... Dude, did you ever see The Departed?
I did.
Okay.
I love that movie, actually.
Every single person except for Matt Damon got nominated for an Oscar. Matt Damon killed that shit.
He was the weak link. No, but he was the weak link.
What?
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
No.
Matt Damon was... Dude... But what's his name? Marky Mark got nominated.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. I saw the movie a month ago, and I'm like, how the fuck did Matt Damon not get nominated for this? Matt Damon killed this shit. How did he not get nominated and Marky Mark got fucking nominated for this?
Marky Mark did better.
No, that's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. Oscars to me, they're losing their fucking... I mean, it's still...
Okay, these are movies that came out 10 years ago.
Yeah, I'm giving you the
okay.
example. I'm giving you the example of just because they're the only ones in a cast not to get nominated doesn't mean Stallone in Creed fucking was the only one to get nominated, and Michael B. Jordan killed that shit. Don't know what to tell you. Some people get nominated.
You still haven't seen Creed?
No, she won't watch it. That's not her thing.
It's not my thing.
She doesn't like good movies.
Yeah, you're right. I don't like movies with 14% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Creed is not 14%.
And Life Itself is.
Oh, Life Itself. But I don't... Yeah,
No, I know.
Rotten
I'm
Tomatoes.
just
Who
fucking
gives a
with
fuck about that?
Do people really give a shit about that
A lot
stuff?
of people do.
I mean,
man.
I only care when we're going to record Raw or Not, and that's it.
Here's the thing.
That could be a rod or not.
Here's what I find.
Why? I already know what Jeff's going to fucking say.
I honestly don't think it deserves a 14%. I'll be very
That's
honest
crazy.
with you,
But here's what I find about Rotten Tomato scores and people. The way they, I think people agree with Rotten Tomato scores when they agree with them. So I think when it aligns to their beliefs, they're like, "Oh, it got 98% Rotten Tomato. How about that? It can't be a bad movie." But then when it's a movie that they like and it gets a lower rating that they feel, they're like, "Well, that's bullshit." You know, we all know fucking Rotten Tomatoes bullshit. And they're like, "What? You can't have both
It's
of it."
one or the other, sir.
Yeah, you can't have both. I mean, that's why the common saying amongst the group is for what that's worth.
Whatever it's worth.
For whatever it's worth, Rotten Tomato score is blah blah blah. I saw a movie that was with Keegan Michael Key. Mm-hmm. That was 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Which movie?
No.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm just saying, don't say it.
Why?
Okay, say it.
Why wouldn't I say it?
Because I just think it's a conversation for later, for another episode.
But it's not 2019.
I just want
Oh,
to
my
know
bad.
what
It was
movie he's talking
2019.
about. What's the big
It's he's in an improv troupe. And
I miss Buena.
he was it's with the girl from Community and where is he at?
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name of the movie.
Keanu?
No.
Let's see here.
Because that was this year.
No, it wasn't.
Keanu, yeah.
No,
It's
Keanu was not this year.
It was not this year.
No?
No.
Oh, my bad.
Fuck, what was the name of this movie?
Well, while he's looking that up, if you are into hot ones, you should watch the Key and Peele episode because it's fucking hilarious. Actually, you should watch all of them, but especially Key and Peele. And Paul Rudd and Nick Offerman.
I don't know what's this Hot Ones. I'm not being sarcastic.
It's a show that started on YouTube's.
Hey Maria, welcome to the show.
I'm tired.
Hey, her internet is different on her computer than everybody
Oh,
else's.
man. I got some stories today, but I'm trying to be nice to her.
She ain't never gonna hear this shit.
Yeah. You're
Don't Think Twice.
Okay.
It's a movie, him in an improv troupe, and it's starring Jillian Jacobs, the girl from Community, the blonde girl from Community.
So Hot Ones is
100%.
is a show where this guy, he's been doing it, I think, at the very least for 5 years, maybe more. He invites guests over and they eat chicken wings with hot sauce, and they start from stupid hot to insane hot, and he interviews them while he's eating, they're eating these chicken wings, and they record their reactions. It sounds a lot more boring than the way I'm describing it, but I promise you that it's entertaining. So you should give it a shot. Paul Rudd's so far has been my favorite because Paul Rudd's so fucking charming. It's stupid.
I want to see his show on Netflix. I haven't seen it yet.
It's good.
You saw the whole thing?
Oh, dude, I saw the first episode. It's
Yeah?
fucking really trippy, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't even see the trailer for it. I saw
the trailer on Netflix the other
the
day.
day that it dropped, I was like, oh, I just watched. It was Paul Rudd. I thought it was a movie, so I go to check to see how long the movie is, and then there was an episode, and I was like, oh, what? I just wanted to see how long the episode was, and then I was like, fuck it, it's half an hour. I'll just stay watching.
They're half hour?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I watched it, and I was like, super fucking trippy. And then my brother-in-law came over later on that day and that night, and I told him, oh, you should watch it. It's fucking trippy. And then he put the trailer on, and I'm like, the trailer gives away so much. And because I didn't know anything about it, I think that's why I found it trippy. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know what was that. Like, I didn't know what to expect. And I think that's way better.
Did anybody see the Politician on Netflix?
No.
That was really fucking good.
TV show or movie?
TV show. It's 8 episodes.
Yeah, Amazon does 8 episodes. Their runs are.
No, it's Netflix.
Or I'm saying Amazon does 8 episodes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Not to yell at me. You fucking
Yelling at you. Really good. The whole premise of the show is that it's gonna follow the main character. It's gonna follow him through different elections that he's a part of, and the first one is his high school class president election, and it's gonna go from there. But it was really fucking good, and what they're setting up for a second season is like actually something that is currently happening in right
So
now.
the end of the world.
It's the end.
No, but are you familiar with what's going on with Representative Katie Hill?
Mm-hmm.
It's that.
Awesome.
So
Awesome sauce.
But anyway,
All right, that's the episode. 2 hours long. I know it's we've been a while, but
This was for you, Sarah.
This is for you, Sarah and Carlos.
And Carlos.
Shout out. Anyways, thank you for checking us out.
Do the pia 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 pia.
Shani, do it like how you asked DJ Zog for the. Can you send me this?
Can you send me the
Are you ever
the
going to
siren?
release the episode that was just you and I?
I got it. I've been home for like 2 days at a time for like the last 2 months, man.
But we recorded it before.
I understand, but in the first, like I got to do everything in the short amount of time. So it was really one of those things. Like, oh, which one is this one? Okay, let me edit this one and I'll get to the other one, and I just never got to it. Oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah. I mean, I could have, when you were explaining it, I would have been like, just don't even, because she's not gonna.
So, anyways, thank you for checking us out. We have I've had fun. This was a good episode. I thought it was a good episode from the jump. Make sure to check out Stephanie's event coordinating at events_by_the letter U on Instagram. That's events by you. And the website is
MiamiEventsByYou.com.
MiamiEventsByYou, the letter U.com. So make sure you check that out. Missy is a writer, and you can check out her blog at MissyWrites.com. And my writing Instagram is at MissyWriter. Missy Writer. And then my website is whatwashisname.com, naryscience.com, but whatwashisname.com. And check out the comedy videos I'm posting there. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you for checking us out. Check out the other podcasts on the Geek Bro Network that include Shiver, Zero's on Hero, Mount Geekmore. Mount Geekmore, we're recording a new episode tomorrow. So by the time this
Shiver has a newish episode too. Came out like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Yes, you're right.
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
So Shiver, on Geekmore, and Mamas. Are we still doing Mamas? Are you guys still doing Mamas?
We're recording on Friday.
All right, recording on Friday. New episode dropping.
Aren't you going to Disney on Friday?
We are going to Disney on Friday.
Oh, I guess we're not recording on Friday then.
All right. You're right with good catch on that one. I was like, oh, good, new episode. And I was like, wait a minute. And Pedro, let me tell you, Comedy Fitness, thank you for checking us out all at geekbro.net. Take off your ad blocker, because then you'll be able to see all the media players at geekbro.net for each individual player.
And you can go to geekbro.net, then click on Amazon, and then find all the shows we were talking about.
There you go. Click on the Amazon banner, shop away, man. Let's get a kickback. Thank you for checking us out. That's how winning is done. Pop culture, and it's funny, motherfucker.